What is up? What is up? King Aaron, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Mod and chat. Oh, better be. When did I mod you? I gotta unmod you. This cannot be allowed. Hold on a second. Let me unmod web gaming. There's too much power for web gaming to have. Just kidding. What's up, Adrian? How you doing? I just kid. I have gotten like reamed today. I feel good today because nothing says you're doing a good job unless you make a bunch of people mad. Not that I intend to make people mad. It's just no matter how positive a person you are, you're gonna just somehow make people mad. I'm getting like super destroyed on my Eminence and Shadow video today, but it is what it is. I knew pretty much within the first few episodes that was going to be a series I'll be covering, and I wouldn't be 100% positive. And as I've learned, unless you're 100% positive, I mean, even if you're 100% positive, you still make people mad because you like something that they don't like. So you never win. You never win in any situation. Yeah, the Eminence and Shadow fans they're not bad. I think I've had a lot of good conversations with Eminence Shadow fans. I just don't think the soft spot is Sid. I think people don't like people that don't like Sid, and I don't like Sid. Never have. And I don't hate him, but he's not like my favorite. And the comedy in that show is very miss, and I think that's where a lot of people get enjoyment out of it. So I've always been about the Shadow Garden. The show has always been about the Shadow Garden for me. Super fascinated by it. More mods than us regular otaku folk. There's only 2 in the chat right now. If Genghis pops in, then we'll have 3. I think that's all I have. I don't know. I don't know anymore how many people I mod. I probably should look at that. I should give Sabanasu mod. Sabanasu would be a good one. How do I ban Andrew from his own stream? I don't think that's possible. I mean, it could be possible. We never know with some of these things. I mean, Twitter literally is yelling at me for posting 1 tweet today. So the computers are weird like that. Is anybody else having a problem with Twitter? Did it fix itself yet? There was pictures that it was like overburdened or something like that. The servers are going down. So I don't know. What's up, Cheto? How's it going? Hey, Peter. That's weird. That's a weird show for people to expect 100% positivity. It's fun, but also very imperfect. Good point, but I think my brain's going in a different direction. The way that Eminence and Shadow is constructed, it's difficult for it to be 100% enjoyed. Why does my music suddenly suck? It's difficult for it to be 100% enjoyed just because it has so many things it's going for. It's going for serious. It's going for It's going for serious. It's going for violent. It's going for comedy. It's going for dry humor. It's going for intrigue. It's going for politics. It's going for isekai. It's going for fantasy. It's doing a lot of things. So if it ever focuses on one of those things and it's not the thing that you enjoy the most about it, it peters off. So for me, since the comedy doesn't necessarily work, I enjoy the Ein stuff, the Overlord stuff, where it's like the characters are misinterpreting what Sid does and running on their own thing. I enjoyed that comedy. But the stuff like the background character joke, the friend that bids on everything and fails miserably, those jokes, I don't like them. So when that's a lot of the show, when it feels like that's a lot of the show, I get people mad at me because I point it out. And maybe I should just stop pointing out it. I guess at this point people understand that I don't care for it. So yeah. People make people mad at you planning on playing Hogwarts Legacy. Exactly. You haven't followed anyone in 2 days. Apparently the soft lock released in 24 hours, but it's been like 2 whole days now. There's a soft lock on Twitter? Is that what you're talking about? I haven't seen everything that's been announced on Nintendo Direct today. Ira did send me a message saying that Etrian Odyssey apparently is going to the Switch, which, yes. Like, yes. And we were literally just talking like a month ago about that, how it'd be really awesome to have Etrian Odyssey come back. Though, my big concern, I think Ira also echoed it, was how do you do the touch stuff? Like, half of that game, Etrian Odyssey, is about plotting out your map. Etrian Odyssey. It's like a dungeon crawler game that was on the 3DS and the DS. It was really cool with its map. But how do you do that when there's no touchscreen? Unless you can only play handheld and there's a map, half the screen's a map, which would work for me, I guess. Maybe you can get like a stylus. It's gonna be very difficult to draw with the stylus on that screen. It's kind of sad how Nier Automata next episode have no confirmed date yet. Yeah, that's what I was gonna point out. I was looking at the anti chart just before I started the stream because I usually put this up as my opening screen. Makes sense, Vinland Saga's up here. This kind of shocks me that Misfit, even at this point, is still up here because I've heard quite a few negative comments about this new season. But yet, it up against things like Tokyo Revengers and Nagatoro, it's surprising that this is so high. Like, that's insane that Misfit is so high. But this is I don't know what's sadder, this or not. This is not sad. I don't know what's more interesting, this being up here or Nier Automata still being up here. It literally got delayed after like 3 episodes, and it's still one of the most popular shows right now. It's crazy. I'm enjoying Misfit season. Is season 3? Okay, 2 part 1. Don't forget, it's 2 part 1. I just don't bother watching Misfit and Nier since they got delayed. Misfit got delayed? Oh, you're just talking about, you haven't been watching Misfit and either Nier that's been delayed. I don't think Misfit's been delayed yet, has it? I mean, people are expecting it to get delayed. Yeah, it's still got in 2 days another episode comes up. Yeah, okay. You just scared me. I'm like, wait, I'm about to start watching it. Don't tell me it's delayed. There goes that idea. There goes that idea. Just throw that out. But no, this, I don't know that I'm ever planning on continuing this. I have zero drive to watch Tokyo Revengers right now. And it sucks. I don't want to. I like a lot of the pack story stuff, but I just don't want to anymore. I don't know. I can't explain it other than the fact that I hate the futuristic stuff or the future stuff. Oh, you thought it was delayed? Okay. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people saying that it's going to get delayed. So I don't blame you for considering that. A lot of people were saying this will be delayed because Aniplex is an evil company and all the delays are Aniplex, which is not the case. Watch it or I'm driving to your house watching it together. Well, you got the first part probably already handled, but the second part, I don't know if you can manage that. We still gotta watch all of Mushoku Tensei. That's gonna take some time. People say it will get better. It will get delayed, but it hasn't so far, yeah. Them who actually still watches Tokyo Revengers? Apparently a lot of people, because it's the 3rd most popular on Anilist anyways. Don't get how popular it came to be. I think it's because the source material had a huge fandom. People hyped the hell out of it when it was first announced. And now people aren't because they didn't like the ending, apparently, to the manga. I don't know what happens, but apparently it's very disappointing. But that's literally 99% of source material. They always end in a way that people don't like. Attack on Titan didn't end happily for everybody. Yeah, I think it was just the recent return to the current time where it's just like, I don't care anymore. Like, I hate how they handle the butterfly effect. Oh, you're talking about Misfit. You're not going to make me... I thought so, because I'm like, I thought we were talking about that in Discord, and you weren't, like, super positive on it. So I'm like, why are you so passionate now about that? Do you just want me to suffer with you? Is that it? You just want me to suffer with you? Thank you. Are you ready for a Atelier Mary remake? They're doing a remake of it? No, I haven't really done Atelier since Ryza. I didn't get through the first Ryza, and I haven't really had time to get back to them. I used to play them all the time. Of course, technically, I used to review them for a site whenever they came out. It's about the journey or something. That's what really kind of pushes me back, is this idea of, like, I do like the backstory stuff. I really do. And it's just the stuff that gets to modern times makes me so mad. So I need to, like, stomach it and just shut up. The one you're watching is number 5, Tomo. I need to get back to Tomo. The controversy around the cut content was kind of funny. Even though I don't think it's controversial. People make it controversial. Web gaming makes it controversial. Web gaming makes everything controversial. Misfit Season 2 seems like a show that can binge at 2 times. I mean, I'll probably watch it at 1.5 because I do have them ready to watch, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to slow it down every time Sarah gets on the screen. Tomo's number 6 for some reason. Number 4 is missing. You're right. What is number 4? Sometimes it's like puts it out of order, out of whack for some reason. Oh, it's probably something that's continuing. Or a short. No, these are all separately ordered. What in the world is these numbers? I don't know. I give up. I'm just gonna go by one list order. It's not me, it's Chibi and Twitter. Twitter always makes you mad. I ignore Twitter most of the time. But that's good because I get you to tell me whenever something actually isn't significantly bad so that I can actually talk about it. Most of the time I just ignore everything. Web gaming is my controversy tweeting bird, I guess you can call it. What's controversial about Tomo-chan? The father of, what is her name? The bubbly blonde. Yeah. Soft spoilers for people. Carol's mother apparently showed up in the recent episode, and they basically insinuated that her mother was 13 when she had Carol. And so everybody immediately obviously thinks, oh my gosh, her father's a pedo thing that I can't see on Twitter or on YouTube. Again, soft spoilers. Later on, you find out he was 16 when she got pregnant, and he thought that she was older because she's well endowed. But again, I guess it makes a conversation about child pregnancy, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't personally think it's that big of a deal. But it does technically explain why Carol's so weird, because sometimes that can come with difficulties. Not saying it always comes with difficulties, just it's common. But anyways. Oh, you thought it was Tomo's mom and dad. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, apparently she went over there and her mom was like with these long sleeves, which I could totally see her being like that. I need to watch it. I really do. I saw it as just a fun fact, and then people lost their minds. Well, I think it was annoying because everybody initially came out and said, oh my gosh, she was 13 when she got pregnant with Carol. And it's like, but my immediate thought goes to, well, how old's the father? Like, that's my immediate thought process is, well, how old is he? Not that it changes anything. If this is the sucky part. My mind frame, and I don't condone this in any way, shape, or form, YouTube. My mind frame goes to, okay, so what if her mother was 13 when she had her? And again, I don't condone this. So what if her father was 20 when she got pregnant? It doesn't mean it's right, but I'd never like the idea of a writer not doing something just because it's not right. It doesn't have to make a statement about it. I would hope that it doesn't glorify it, but at the same time, what does it matter? For one, it's a fictional story. So even if it does happen, it's not like anybody gets harmed. Yes, two, I would hope it doesn't glorify it, because that's the worst thing you want to do. But the major thing in my mind is never disallow it from being wrote, because it does happen in life. And ignoring that it happens in life doesn't necessarily make it go away. Again, that's my TED Talk for that. Pregnancy can destroy an anime character's life. Like I said, maybe they're making a statement because Carol's the weirdest person in the show. Carol's like, what's the best word for it? Aloof? She's always aloof or something? Yeah, people go insane over age difference. It's like, yeah. And it's like that whole aspect of, well, my immediate thought was I was questioning at the time when I first heard about it, if it was a case of like she was 20 and the guy was like 40. And then when I heard that it was that low, it changes things a little bit. Carol's the best part of Tomo-chan. No, Mizusu is the best part. Yeah, the side characters are great. Carol's great. Tomo's great. Or Carol's great. Mizusu's great. The senpai, he's okay. It's just like Tomo and what's his face. Those are the two kind of characters. Like the main cast is the two that's like not that funny and interesting. Diversity until it makes someone uncomfortable, right? No, this isn't DiCaprio. I don't know. I hate DiCaprio, so whatever DiCaprio did, I don't know what you're talking about. Carol's rich anyways. Yeah, so it makes up for it. She's loaded. I wonder if the people kicking up the fuss over it has ever seen Lucky Star. It's like that or Azumanga Daioh. Who needs MCs in anime? Right. I mean, if you have a great supporting cast, it makes up for it. I mean, that's like my whole argument with Eminence and Shadow. It's like, I enjoy that show for the other characters, not necessarily Sid. Like, that was my initial grab, and the thing that's always kept me going with this series is the side characters. It's Delta, it's Beta, it's Alpha, Epsilon. Those are the characters I enjoy. I don't care for Sid. And I'm actually planning on making a video. I need to figure out how I really want to put it. Truth be told, Eminence and Shadow is one of those prime examples of people, when you don't like it because of like the main character, they go, then don't watch it. And my argument really in the broader sense is, if I didn't watch a show because I don't like a character, I barely have any shows to watch. There's so many shows that have characters I don't like. But I think the key thing is knowing that if a show has a good enough psych... Tomo-chan's a perfect example. Tomo's fine. The other guy's fine. But what makes the show is Mizuzu and Carol and the side characters. This is the same case with this show. Sid doesn't sell me on the show. It's these characters. Is that a bad thing to enjoy the show because of the side characters? Or should I dump it because I don't like Sid? Yeah, Tokyo Revenger's a prime example. I hate the main character in that show with a burning passion. And a lot of people hate Tokyo Revengers because of the main character. People hate ReZero for Subaru. But they still watch them. Because everything else is so good. The story's good. The world's good. Everything's still good. Oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher this. Zyra, I'm guessing. Welcome to the stream. Doing good. How are you? I actually didn't care for Alpha compared to Delta, Epsilon, and recently Anna Rose, I'm guessing you mean, as my favorite characters. Like I said, I love all the side characters. Like, all the girls are great in that show. I don't think there's a single one that I don't like. I'm afraid Epsilon is going to get stuck in her own joke, because this writer loves to have a joke assigned to each character. Like, Beta is the raunchy novel writer. The friend of Sid is the one that bids on everything and loses all of his money. He's a gambling addict. Epsilon is padded, and she loses it a lot. Every character sort of has a joke. Gamma falls over. So I do see that this writer has a habit of finding a joke and just assigning a joke to each character. And so every time they're on the screen, that joke happens. But I still like the side characters much more than Sid. Wait, did you mention Rudius, Rat Boy as one people? Yeah, Rudius and Mishuko is a prime example. People hated that character. Now, there's a lot of people that hated Rudius as a character and stopped watching it because of that. And I don't blame people. It's fine. If you're not comfortable with that story, it's fine. You don't have to watch it. There's a lot of people that just knew what was going to happen with him and continued to watch it and wanted to see his growth. There may have been a lot of people that liked how he was at the very beginning and don't want him to change. Let's be perfectly honest. But there is a group of people that I seen plenty of comments about this when I was actually watching along with it, when I was doing my first impressions like 2 years ago. There was people that didn't like him, hated him, but they still watched it because they loved the world. And that's the great thing, is because they stomached him, that eventually they got to that point where he starts to change, or they started falling in love with the world itself. And so it worked out in the end. And so again, like I said, there could come a time where I love Sid. Like there could actually be a time where this character becomes one of my favorite characters. And I think that's another reason why I think it's important to continue on, despite the fact that you have issues with the character, especially a main character. They may change at some point. There may be a point to them being unbearable, or they may find some sort of growth that might upset people that want him to stay that way, but improve for other people that don't like him that way. Or the writer bends and changes them. I actually never hate, but love Subaru compared to Takamichi. Ooh, that's... I mean, I know you're obviously going just for those two characters because I mentioned them, but that's like two different bags of worm right there. Takamichi's just wine bag, whereas Subaru, I think, is just he's overly loud and animated, and I think that's what people hated about him. But I enjoyed his breakdown, really, honestly. He wasn't a character I cared for early on. Never had this problem choosing best girl. Alexia, Beta, Rose, and now Beatrix. Beatrix is great. Burger Elf is my new favorite character in that show, since Delta got a great action scene, but not enough Delta. I don't know why I'm obsessed with Delta. I kind of was early on. Same with My Hero Academia. Deku is plain. Yes! I don't hate Deku, but he's literally the weakest part of the show for me right now, especially. Like, I just don't care when he's on the screen anymore. And I think I realized it here in this recent episode when he was talking to all the past people. What's up, Genghis? I know I was totally talking in a tangent and I forgot to say hi. Don't ban me. I realized this recent episode where he's talking to all these people in this room. I don't want to spoil things for those that ever care to watch it. And they like lay out all this stuff about how terrible things are going. And I was already annoyed by him with the whole, I seen he was asking for help. And I'm like, oh gosh, we're doing this. We're doing this. I just can't stand it. Why can't we deal with reality? They kind of set up the idea of the brutality of reality with the villain arc. And it feels like they're going right back into typical shonen. I can save him. I'm fine with it, but at the same time, it makes him such a boring character to not really think about things fully through. It just turns into, he's asking for help. I'm a good person. I'll save him. It's like, okay, good. I think Deku looked cool at the end of the episode. Yeah, they're going with edgy Deku moment. Yeah, we'll see. I just immediately thought edgy Deku arc coming. The Lone Wolf Deku arc is coming. I cannot wait. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes before his friends all drag him back to the academy. Raise the biscuit hammer branches. Magical Revolution is the same for me. I really like Algard, and the kind don't like the two main leads. But yeah, villain is supposed to be portrayed in the bad light. Ouch, Vu. Don't be mean to my magic. You could make... We're joking about other shows, not Andrew's favorite show of the season. That's fine, though. If you don't care for the two characters, that's fine. I perfectly understand. I don't know. This recent episode was pretty amazing, too. Like, every week, Magical Revolution for me, is, like, gets better and better and better and better and better. Wouldn't mind if the side characters took a step back. My Hero Academia has too many characters. Holy crap, they do. No joke, they do. And I think I noticed that with, I think it was the point which they introduced, what's his name? The wannabe All Might guy. What the heck was his name? The dude that can go through anything. When he showed up and they started showing a whole bunch of new characters at that point, I was like, how does this guy... There was a little bit of sameness to a lot of characters, but I'm like, we gotta stop. Like, you're starting to show, like, similar characteristics between your characters, but at the same time, please stop. Yeah, Lemillion. That's who I was thinking about. Yeah, I didn't know this. I forget his... Mirio doesn't ring any bells. Start making fun of Raji Revo. I'm gonna end this stream. I don't want to hear no negativity to my cute little Licorice Recoil girls that are full on Yuri. I like that they got another harem member too. Wouldn't mind if side characters... Yeah, you said that. Beauforty has been enjoyable and fun. Yeah, I hated the CGI library scene, but it's been okay. Shortest OS stream ever. I don't know what my shortest one is. I think I canceled a stream one time. It was like a long time ago. Yuri equals justice. But now this was suggested to me last week because we had that whole like watch along debate on choosing a show for Bones, and some people wanted to see a tier list of this because I was going through all the shows. So I made a tier list. I also made one for other stuff, just in case it is too short, which includes, I think, Shaft, Trigger, Madhouse, Kyoto, and Ufotable. Yes, Ufotable. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. So, I always find this a good way of just... I don't care for tier lists. It's just always fun to kind of have an excuse to talk about these shows, so that's why I do them. None for A1. I debated A1. I think it's fine to do a tier list for A1. I just know that there's a lot of criticism for A1 because they pretty much have such a... They're basically a publishing company. Like, they're a publisher for the most part. Whereas you can typically get a style from groups like, you know, Shaft and Trigger and stuff. But yes, it would be a very long list. I don't mind doing A1 just to go, here's the shows they've technically produced. But yeah, that'd be a ton. maybe another stream, because I still want to do some other ones as well, like Dean. I think that would be kind of funny to do because Dean's like all over the freaking place. How about Noitamina block? Like the Noitamina block itself, that would be interesting just because for a long time, every time I heard Noitamina mentioned, I was hyped. Like, it felt like for a while, Noitamina had nothing but hitters coming out of their channel lineup. So that would be actually a really cool one to do. I wouldn't mind doing that. Unless there's already one out there and I could just grab it. JC Staff would be good too. Yeah, I would love to do JC Staff. But no, Bones is like we were saying like last week. Bones is like one of those studios that when you scroll through the list, you're like, gosh dang, these are like mostly all heavy hitters. So it's probably gonna be a very heavy, high tier list today. Let's do an A1 stream next week, just to criticize A1 or something. Just to yell about how much we hate the studio, or just like rank the shows. I love Scrap Princess. I absolutely love Scrap Princess. I don't know if I want to start off with my first one in S, so I'm gonna put it in A for now. But I love Scrap Princess. If anybody's been following me for a long time, they know that for a long period of time, I was yelling at every single licenser, please pick up Scrap Princess. Somebody give me a release of Scrap Princess. And then finally they did. So I had to immediately buy it because I wanted to support them actually listening to me for once. I get a lot of stuff relicensed. I'm good at that. I haven't done it in a while, but I have a habit of yelling about shows not getting licenses, and somebody finds it. I think the only one that I've yelled about that has not been picked up again is Minami K, which is like one season somewhere. Minami K and Cheeky Angel. I think those are the only two shows that so far has not been picked up. There's been a pickup. Well, no, Katana Katari. Katana Katari was the other one. But like Zatsuba Sensei and stuff, I've been chiming and they've picked up that show. So yeah, I'm pretty good at it. I just kind of pat my own back. Yeah, but 80s and DDs, no any piece. I unfortunately, our last hope for that is gone. Nozemi Entertainment was our last hope for that one. Maburahu. Do a tier list of anime that make you cry. We were talking about that last week too. Well, no, I was just talking about doing a list of that make you cry. So yeah. Darker Than Black. Some of these are gonna be difficult for me to remember because it's been so long since some of these shows I've even watched. Like, I actually watched Escaflowne recently, but things like I guess that's the only one that's really gonna be difficult for me to remember. Is gonna be Darker Than Black. But some of these are gonna be very difficult for me to remember, like how much I liked it. Like with Darker Than Black, I know I loved it. Like back when that came out, I was hooked. I loved the hell out of that show. But I don't remember like if it was actually good. Like it's like my old self loved it, but I don't know if it was like a good show. Like the story was actually solid. That's the difficulty in really placing it. So take it as just how much I loved it at the time. I can go rewatch it now and it's absolute garbage. I can tell you right now, where is it at? This is garbage. Like, this show is garbage. That's easy for me to do. But Dark and Black, the original, I really loved it. But Gemini, I did not. The Gemini, I hated it. You like that one? I don't know what it was about that The only thing I can remember is that I didn't think it was like the original. That's all I can remember, is that I didn't like that it did something that didn't feel like the original. Do I need a trash section? Is that going to make people, like, angry? I could do trash. Just to make people mad. I don't mind. But yeah, it's just kind of... It kind of bugs me in that regard, that I don't truly remember what about it I hated, but I do vividly remember I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. Let's do this. So I have a D. D's... I like having at least a D. Don't take that the wrong way. I didn't... Anyways. So, Soccer Spirit, what do you rank the strongest exorcist among the other isekai anime? Don't make me laugh if you put it in the top 5. No. No. No, 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 no. Strongest exorcist is like... It's like a 5 out of 10 for me. Like, it's not bad. But it's not good either. It's just, it's got potential. I don't consider it an isekai. Don't get me wrong. He is technically traveling to another world, but it's very similar. It's like, it's still got magic and fantasy elements to it, so I don't necessarily want to chop it up as being an isekai yet. Typically, when I label isekai, it's going from, like, modern times to fantasy. Not fantasy to fantasy. Even though it's still technically isekai, it still kind of falls under the same rules he's already aware of. Like the D, huh? Be happy hard. I immediately jumped to thinking about Mashoko. Stop. I was gonna make a Mashoko joke, but I realized that I'm not on a Mashoko Mondays. I don't want to spoil things. Strongest Exorcist is just slightly less bad than those two Strongest Sage shows. Slightly less bad than the Strongest Sage one. Strongest Sage was woof, dude. I didn't like the Strongest Sage with the weakest crest and stuff. Carol and Tuesdays S. Okay, we'll put our first S up here. I really love Carol and Tuesdays. That show is so good. Hopefully here soon I'll be getting a Blu-ray copy of it and I'll be doing another review of it. But I loved it. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like this. I think was the first Netflix show that I liked. Was there another Netflix show that came on that was good before Carol? I want to say that Carol and Tuesday was the first one I went and I checked it out and went, I'm gonna probably hate this like I always hate Netflix shows. And I was like, holy crap, yeah, it's good. Like, it's actually good. No, I think Violet Evergarden was after it. Pretty sure Violet Evergarden was after Carol and Tuesday. If not, then it was Violet Evergarden. I know that Violet Evergarden had a really weird release because it wasn't in the West. And everybody that got access to it was saying it was terrible. And so when I finally got a chance to watch it, I'm like, you guys are full of crap. Be the Beginning was before it. I liked Be the Beginning, so I would say that was probably it then. I mean, it wasn't... Be the Beginning wasn't perfect, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. The last episode of the politics and stuff, it didn't ruin it. It honestly didn't ruin it. The ending was crazy with Be the Beginning. That's like one of those shows that I didn't like the second Be the Beginning. But the first one was really good. It had a nice balance of Brainiac detective, quirky sidekick, and then like this weird supernatural thing on the side. High score girl count? If that was before, then yeah. Gosh dang it, is there a list of Netflix anime? I need like a list of just all Netflix anime. I know I can look at the publishers, but that typically doesn't show you in some cases where they just license it, not that they didn't pay into it. Yeah, and the politics made sense to the world they were doing. I'm typically not like against politics being in anime. It's just more of that aspect of like it's more of an aspect that I don't want it to be too obvious they're trying to make a statement. That's when it gets ugh. that's when you're like, okay, you're talking about something else. Like, this isn't about this world. When it feels like it's no longer about the world, that's when it just feels gross. So, for the record, you were joking about Carol and Tuesday. I missed your comment about it. That it was trash. Yeah, you're terrible. I don't care if you were joking. You're terrible. I have 3 Mob Psychos, right? I think this is the first season. This is the second season. And then this is the 3rd season, right? I think that's right. What's on Netflix website has a full anime list? Really? 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 On their actual website, can I even access it without having a subscription? I know it's after Carol and Tuesday, which I haven't watched, but Romantic Killer was one of the great... Well, yeah, like this year was good for Netflix because they had Romantic Killer, they had Cyberpunk, they had... I'm going to assume that Standalone Complex is going to be a good second part because I really like the first part. So it's like suddenly out of nowhere, Netflix is doing good. Carol Tuesday, politics didn't make much sense to me. It felt forced. From what I remember, it wasn't too complicated, but like I said, it was really fast. Have we had a sci-fi isekai anime? I think can't think of anything seems like a fantasy, but then again, rarely sci-fi. Technically, with cases like gosh, what was that one? It's another Netflix one. Revisions. That's technically isekai sci-fi, and it's decent. It was a decent show. The main character is annoying as hell. Another example of a main character sucking, but a show being good still. Technically, Dual Parallel is sci-fi isekai. There's a lot of them actually. Mermaid Sisters is one of my favorite music group. It's worse than painful. It's annoying. Which one are we talking about? Oh, it's a third-party website. With the list, then? I have to look at it later. I'd love to go through the whole thing. I would love to do a tier list of Netflix shows. I think that'd be interesting just to see how good they're doing versus how they used to. Because for the longest time, Netflix has had nothing but garbage. Anyways, Mob Psycho. I'd say first season's B. Second season is S. Third season is low A, high B. I think. Yeah, I think that's how I would probably sort Mob. First season. Again, those are the right one. That's right. 1, 2, 3. Season 2, S. Season 1, A. And season 3, B. So I'm like you, but I just got this last 2 swapped. I was close, Sabanasu. Very close. It was weird. The politics of the people running was the enforced over incumbent that didn't make much sense. It's been a while, so I couldn't refute you. I just remember it. I didn't care. Like, it didn't bother me, I think. Izzy, Kazuma, and MC from Trinity 7 are the only MCs I like. Trinity 7, guys. I don't know why, but it feels like it's been so long since I watched Trinity 7. That was kind of a series I wish that kept going. I don't know. High B. I think I'm gonna put it for high B for right now. It was good. It wasn't terrible. Another Netflix one that's worth a watch. What's up, Sony? How's it going? Dig the art that you posted, by the way. Really good work, man. Haven't seen it yet. Super Crooks is what this show is. I almost said Great Pretender, but it's Super Crooks. I'm thinking of the other Netflix one that's got like grown-ups and crazy shenanigans happening. No, this one's the superpower one, not the swindlers. I think this is the original Fullmetal Alchemist. I actually like this. I really do like Fullmetal Alchemist, the original. I'm not a I'm not a hater of the old. I will admit that the ending's not great, but all things considered, it was fine. I argued that the beginning segments is a lot better than Brotherhood, so things like I said, been working on hopefully soon to be a manga. Nice. So you're just getting ideas for the protagonist, right? It's really good work, man. I think you got some really great style there. And that's kind of what I was talking about before with the whole aspect of being like original or going with somebody else's art, and building your own style is great. It's much more difficult, and with my limited experience in drawing, I used to be really into drawing, and at some point I just dropped off. I prefer Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 to Brotherhood. Yeah, I think the thing that I have with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, I guess I can get into that now, is its only problem is the beginning sucks. Like, the beginning sucks. I still can't get over how much I hate the beginning of Brotherhood. They should have just started over from the beginning. If their plan was to do a full adaptation, start over. Instead, they assume you watch this, which is super weird. And so it just jumps into it. It feels so broken. That's the only thing that really kind of bogs it down. Like, I think its pacing's perfect. I think its writing's perfect. Got some great animation in there. Everything works. Like, it's not my favorite. It's not a favorite of mine. But I do think it's a really incredible show. Like, I acknowledge how great it is. So yeah, I'll put it S. Like, a personal is probably A. I don't know why I'm saying personal. It goes over here, but for I don't know whatever the reason, I'll put it up there. I mean, only Full Metal needs to be praised only because it's opened that way for Brotherhood, at least. Like I said, they assumed you know it. It doesn't base it off of watching OG. It just thrusts you in and gives background to hook the action and interest. Agree to disagree. It literally feels like it says, yeah, you watch this. I mean, they literally even have, like, if I remember correctly, they even do, like, snippets, which is weird. Like, it doesn't feel like a start. Like, the original starts out from the beginnings. Like, this is their pact they made. It screwed them up. Then it goes into them basically being discovered, joining and all that kind of stuff. There's no way that's what they intended. I think it's time for a rewatch. I literally watched it, like, what, 3 years ago? We did, like, a full-on review of it. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood really is a continuation for a few catch-up episodes. Right. Like I said, it assumes that you know stuff. There's no way that you're going to understand what the hell's happening in the first episode of this if you didn't watch this. No way. Like, it's pre-established politics and everything. No, that's some cap. It's not my fault you don't know what you're talking about, man. Skate Infinity. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I think the first few episodes were phenomenal. If it was the first few episodes, I'd put it S. First few episodes were great. I love Skate Infinity. But, gosh, does it fall apart really quickly. Like, it just doesn't feel like I cared after the first few episodes. Story where you know and understand everything in the first episodes tend to not be good. Well, I mean, it's not so much that you need to understand everything about the world from the very beginning. It's more of an aspect of you need some groundwork placed before you know where you're standing. You gotta put some soil down, I guess. I like 2003 better since Brotherhood toned down a lot of the darker themes. I mean, it was still brutal. Not my fault, you're just wrong. Okay. Skate Infinity has a bomb opening, though. That's what I mean. I love the beginning. I really did. It just kind of fell apart. As long as birthday be nice. The Godzilla SP or whatever that is, it Godzilla SP? I think it is. Godzilla Special, Godzilla Spikes. I don't know. The first thing that comes to my mind is Shrug. First thing that came to mind was Shrug. Oh, singular point, that's right. I know that they talked a lot about singular points and thermodynamics and googly gogglies. I watched Brotherhood first and thought the first episode really told me everything I needed to know. I just did it right away by hinting at the world, but not spilling out everything. Well, that's good. I mean, like I said, I can't really say for sure because I did watch the original Brotherhood, or the original one first. Or did I watch Brotherhood first? No, I watched the original one first. But it was too much of a gap for me, so... But I did feel lost when I jumped into Brotherhood later on. What's the studio? This is Bones. We're looking at Bones stuff right now. Yes, it's a Netflix one. Godzilla SP has a nice art premise, but the storytelling is really wacky and I dropped it. And that's kind of where I fall. Like, it has a pretty solid start, but then as it kind of goes along, it's very kind of geeky, which I don't mind the geekiness. I think they did some interesting stuff with the whole geeky aspect of it. But again, I think in the end, it was kind of one of those ones where it didn't really meet my expectations. And if I remember correctly, the Godzilla fight, which, by the way, soft spoilers, there's Godzilla and Godzilla SP. The Godzilla fight was super short. Wasn't it like literally like 10 minutes? Like I seem to remember like Godzilla shows up and it was like over with in no time. It was like the worst kind of like letdown. Anime opinions be the gangster load of opinions. What? It's 2 in the morning here, so I'm gonna go enjoy the stream, everyone. All right, take care, Dutch. I watched FMA, then went into Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood directly after that. Yeah, I would be curious. I kind of wish, it's one of those ones where I wish that I can reset it and just like try out just jumping right in there, to be honest, but I can't. So anyways, the other Godzilla movies on Netflix I do like. They're done by Polygon Pictures and they're pretty hype fun. They're like just action fun shows. It gets weird. Like the first, I want to say that was it there 3 of them? The last Godzilla movie that Polygon Pictures did, I didn't like. But the first 2 were really good, especially the first one. It was super hype. They like to tell the science terms out of context, and it's kind of weird. Don't have Netflix, sadly, so I miss a lot of anime. Well, you don't want Netflix right now. Well, no, they reversed their decision, didn't they? Netflix backed up after all that controversy, like, we didn't mean to drop that. We didn't mean it. Sorry, bros. We're not gonna make you have to sign in every 7 days and get a code if you want to travel. It was a leak. Vanitas. I want to say with season 1, I'm gonna put season 1 A. I do really love season 1. No, I think I like. Yeah, I'm gonna put A. See, the only reason that I was thinking about putting part 1, sorry, Vanitas part 1. The only reason I was considering putting it A is because the ending's super anticlimactic. But as you watch part 2, you realize why they stopped where they stopped. And so it makes sense. Because once part 2 starts, it just doesn't let up. But, like, it as a whole... Bumping mic, sorry. It as a whole, Vanitas is just super good. When I think of Science Fell in Love, I got bored of it. It got repetitive. I like the characters. I thought the characters were great. But I hated the science spreadsheet stuff. Like, that stuff is just like, I get it. You don't have to explain it to me in scientific terms. And that's the joke. That's the joke. I get it. So, it is what it is. But no, I love Vanitas. Super good. Super good. Did you see how season 2 ended? No, Chris said that was really great, though. I hated the bear. Yeah, the bear was like the existence of what I hated about it. Blast of Tempest, right? I think it's called Blast of Tempest. I was trying to think of the Japanese name. This sucks. This is like, when I was looking at it, this is the one that I was like, I don't even want to do this one. But which makes it great to put in here. anything you really struggle with is perfect to put in there. The beginning part of the show is so freaking good. Like, it's so good. So the last part sucks. I love the beginning segments of this show so much. I'm gonna put it in B. Because it honestly never fixed itself. Like, after that first segment that I really loved, the moment they get into the later stuff, it ruined it. Like, I kept watching it because I loved the first part so much. And it never corrected itself. I don't even remember. It was something like they had some, like, fake hero that they were trying to... They were trying to create a problem and have a hero or something like that. I don't even remember. I just... That part, I just blinked out of my mind because I hate it so much. But no, the beginning segments of it was really good. Really great. Wow. That's the first time I've heard someone say something good about it. In my own, it was potentially the worst thing writing I've ever seen in anime. Man, it was bad. Well, did you like the first part at least? I just hated the second part. I don't even know how long it even lasted. Is it anywhere that I can check it? Like, I don't even think it was that many episodes that I liked. It was a Funimation show, right? Or was it on Crunchyroll? Part 2 had some odd NTR rivalry plot. It's on Crunchyroll. See if it has the episodes listed. Let's see how many episodes I think I probably enjoyed. It went on for 2 cores? Oh, no wonder I hated it so much after a while. I don't even know anymore. I want to say that I enjoyed a core of it. At least. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, it had a good start. That's all I'm gonna say. It had a good start. Everything else I just burned out of my brain. I'd love to have y'all watch Tesla Note. No, don't be mean. That's cruel and unusual punishment. Space Dandy, this is my sad. I have not watched Space Dandy. I watched like the first couple episodes and I didn't like something about it. I don't even remember. I can't excuse myself. Something about it I didn't like. I stopped watching it and I never went back to check out the rest of it. It's been one of those things on my list. It's a lot right there alongside everything else that's in my don't tell people about it, but I have to because that's what gets the clicks. Pile. But no, I hated the dandy style of the earlier segment. And I never went back to it, so. Yes, Snow White with red hair is in the list. It is Bones, isn't it? Like, I'm pretty sure everything here is Bones or it was produced by Bones. So, if something is not actually done by Studio Bones, let me know. At least go watch Skambole reviews on it. If I'm gonna watch a review, I'll watch the show. If I'm gonna watch a review, I'll watch the show. Trash. Captain Earth is trash. I hate it so much. I wanted to like it, but I didn't finish it, to be honest. And there's a reason why I didn't finish it, because I didn't like it. But I kind of had an urge to go back and check it out again. But I never heard anybody say anything positive about it, so I was like, okay, I guess I made the good decision to walk away from that one. So, if anybody likes it, let me know. Noragami, S. I would say this is like low S, and season 2 would be high S. Like, this show is so freaking good. There was some weak parts in the first season, but for the most part, I love it. Maybe like some brief segments. Like, we're talking like brief in segments and within episodes. Noragami season 2, like, it just goes and it goes and it goes and it goes. Bishamon's whole story arc there was absolutely fantastic. So, yeah. Last few episodes of season 1 of Noragami is not as bad as people say. I mean, they were crucial. I think they were, if I remember correctly, I have to double check it. I want to say there were crucial story beats, so I don't. It's kind of one of those things where it's a necessity. Because the Disney Network starts to get into Nora and stuff, Nora and everything. Because it's like setup. If we have a Studio Sunrise list, that's gonna be a difficult one. That's what we were talking about earlier, A1 Pictures. We're gonna do A1 Pictures. God, I can't remember. Based on the names. But yeah, everything's critical. The only thing I didn't like about the first season, and I think if I remember correctly, that's when they started training him about the Shinki and stuff like that, and they technically changed it from the manga. If we have a, I'm about to lose friends because I could never get into My Hero. That's not a bad thing anymore. Been thinking about trying to watch it again though. No, I think the consensus right now is don't bother with My Hero Academia. I'm sure it still has a massive fandom, but I think most people have either fallen off or they're dedicated at this point. I think the last 2 seasons has been pretty much nothing but negativity for most people. So I wouldn't blame you for not watching it. Like, it's at the point now where I wouldn't even suggest it. Like, yeah, if you want a really fun shonen and you're just looking for something to watch, go ahead. I'm not going to be against it, but at the same time, it's sort of turned into one of those series where I don't think I've been proven that it's worth suggesting in the scale that it is. Being a shonen, it's obviously going to be massive in scale. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my screens here because the chat on the OBS sucks. Wrong one. Norigami's second OP got me into the One Punch Man. I thought it was Opium's opening. Is it Oral Cigarettes? Did they do both of them? I know Oral Cigarettes did the second season Norigami, but I wasn't sure if I don't think, no, that's not One Punch Man. Did Oral Cigarettes do a music for One Punch Man? Do ADV? Do ADV? That would be interesting. I don't know if I could remember a lot of that stuff. I don't think anyone actually hates My Hero Academia. It's just, yeah. And that's really my point. It's like, that's even from what I was saying. It's like, it's not that I tell people don't touch it with a 5-foot pole. It's just one of those things of like, I'm not going out of my way to tell people to check it out, I guess. Gecko is a hero. Yeah, it's gotten better. The last episode was good. My problem is like a couple episodes ago with Endeavor, it's like we already know this story. Like they've been dragging out Endeavor's story so much now that it's like I get it now. You don't even have to tell me what happens, and I know exactly what happened. Like I can draw my conclusions because you guys been basically piecemealing us the story of Endeavor for so long. Most people can fill in the blanks. We already know what's going on. I need to look at, there's like this one like PV that they had for ADV, like everything ADV had it. I need to find it. It was a really good like trailer music video. Like how in the OP, Yato has depicted as this cold and ruthless person, but in the anime he's just trying to get employed doing hot jobs. Well, I don't want to spoil things, but there's a reason for that. There is technically a reason for it. He's like, I was joking about the fact that he's pretty much Vanitas. Or at least Vanitas is literally Yato. They have that similar feel to them, where they're just, like, they jump back and forth between being goofballs and then getting serious. Wait, I think I know what you talk about for the trailer video for ADV. If I can find it, can I link it? Yeah, link it over to the Discord. I don't know if it'll let you on YouTube. I think this is Chaika. I haven't watched it yet. I really want to, though. That was kind of one of those ones I kind of was tempted at suggesting in our watch along. I've watched like an episode or two of it. Originally, I wasn't drawn to it because I was like very mixed on the art style at first, but now I really love the art style, so I do want to check it out. Slowly or Not, it's trash. I do kind of want to rewatch it, but I hated it. And the reason why I want to rewatch Slowly or Not is because I honestly believe the only reason I didn't like it and I trashed it and I threw it out is because it wasn't Soul Eater, which, yes, is the joke. It's not Soul Eater. but it's technically Soul Eater. So saying it's not Soul Eater, not that it doesn't change the fact that it's Soul Eater, and I hated it. I thought we already talked about Sunrise. We said that we were doing Sunrise, or that the Sunrise would be really long. What's this watch along? This is what kind of sparked this. Is we're doing a watch along right now. Our category was bones, and we ended up selecting Noragami. But if you go to the Discord, which is in the description, at about 8 o'clock every day Central Time, we do like a watch along. So, yeah. Mayatome, anyone? Was Mayatome in the list? Is that Bones? But yeah, Mayatome was like completely different than Maihime, which was kind of annoying too. You don't like Soul Eater or not, but you like Yuri bait? I do like Yuri bait. Which Yuri bait do I like? We have a lot of nominations. We had a lot of them. There was like, what, 6 or something? Bobake Battlefront is excellent. God, it feels like a lot of S's right now. I might bump some down to even things out, but that's another S, easy. I love Bobake. It's got style, it's got music, the story's super intriguing. It's got everything. Magical Reincarnation is not Yuri bait. Liquidity Coil is not Yuri bait. So there you go. Liquidity Coil, that's the biggest problem that really people don't seem to get of me, is I don't draw conclusions as much as other people do. Liquidity Coil is friends. They're nothing in Liquidity Coil implied to me that they're Yuri. Nothing implied to me that they were pushing Yuri. Yes, there's some marketing material that they push some Yuri elements, but for the most part, I didn't see the characters in a relationship. The writing's really sold in the idea that they're friends. With Magical Revolution, that's Yuri. It's not Yuri bait. It's straight up Yuri. They're going for that. And it's obvious they're going for that. She doesn't like men. She doesn't want to get pregnant. She wants to get married to a girl. That's not Yuri bait. That's literally... She wants women. What's the Yuri bait about it? Nominate New Game for the best Yuri of all time. New Game is super good. Like Maihime and Mayatome. Really interesting. It was neat because they same characters in it. That was kind of the nice thing about it. I agree with that. Lack of male cast members indicates Yuri bait? No. Not really. I can't agree with you on that. That's all I'll say. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people have, is like this idea that because there's girls next to each other, immediately it's Yuri, which I don't necessarily agree. I made a whole video on it. After the whole controversy with Liquidity Coil, I made a video on it. This idea that some people don't, yeah, Yuri bait rant time. Some people just don't get that girls, when there's two girls next to each other, does not immediately mean they love each other. Girls, surprisingly enough, and I don't mean this condescending for some people, I'm saying it in a general viewpoint here. Girls can be friends. And yes, at least from my experience growing up, girls are super, what's the best way to put it? They're very close. Like, they love to be next to each other. I mean, I think a lot of guys don't get it, that because from our perspective with our guy friends, we don't snuggle with each other. They're very touchy-feely, yes. Women, at least teenagers, my experience being around girlfriends, they're very touchy-feely. They love to get in with each other. They're much more comfortable with each other. Guys were like, dude, you're too close. Don't touch me. And I think when people see two girls in a show and they're touchy-feely, it's like, oh my gosh, suddenly they're into each other. Time to get in bed. So, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. No, that's an expert my expert opinion from years of public schools. I think it's because in most media, girls touchy is and super close. And it makes sense, right? I mean, yes, there's a lot of... I met a lot of girlfriends that weren't into being close. Like they had personal space issues, but for the most part, they're just very touchy-feely, and that's not. I don't know. Maybe I grew up in an anime school and everybody was Yuri bait. Sorry, correction to myself. You have a rational mindset. If the general watcher will ask, "Is this Yuri?" before watching the show, it's Yuri bait by definition. I understand, Relentis, that I'm not ignorant to the idea that studios do that. I'm not ignorant to the idea that source materials do that. Sex sells. Thanks, YouTube, for demonetizing immediately. Sex sells. So obviously having two girls get cuddly with each other is going to make people freak out. I just don't, me personally, I don't like when it doesn't deliver on people's expectation that it is in fact Yuri. Because these two girls are too close. Throw up a storm. That's the whole reason why I'm so passionate about this, and I'm throwing a little rant party here. And Web Gaming was totally expecting it. The reason why it bugs me so much and why I'm so passionate about this is I don't like when people get their expectations set and then they get mad. We've seen that with Liquor Sequel. People generally, like legit, people got mad that they didn't just jump in bed together. And it's like, but why were you expecting that? Never expect that unless they actually do it. Again, like I said, Magical Revolution is the first case in a long time that I'm like, yeah, they're going for that. What was that one Yuri last year? Shimamura? Or was that the dude one? They had a Yuri last year. It was like, okay, I can kind of see this is what they're going for. They're obviously Doki Doki. I don't like when everything has to be Yuri. Ain't nothing wrong with people being friends, right? Exactly. Yeah, that's what the fanfics are for. Let the doujinshis handle all that stuff. Yeah, Dachi and Shimamura. Yeah. What was the guy one that was last year? Sasaki. Yeah. Web Gaming's saving my butt. Anyways, rant done. Yes, go watch Citrus so that they can be angsty teens at the same time and constantly get angry at each other for trying to get in bed together. It's like it's like Yuri but suffrage at the same time. Go watch Citrus. Just read the manga Citrus. The manga of Citrus is so good. The art's so good. What was this list for Just Got Here? It's for Bones. Studio Bones. We're doing all the titles on Studio Bones. Eventually, I'll finish all the titles on Studio Bones. Show by Rock. I really like it. I'm not going to oversell it, but I really, really like it. I'll do High B. Yeah, when I put my title as being like studio tier list, everybody thought that I was going to do all the studios. I'm like, I did that already. It was a pain. Absolute pain. Was that a kickstart? What was I talking about? I forgot. Oh, the drink? No, this is... I know, some I got super cheap. I got a case of them. They're actually decent. They're like... They taste like Arizona. I have no idea what this is. Oh, peace tea. It's peace tea. I've never heard of it before. I'm probably gonna get sick. I don't know. Alright, Benjamin, take care. Thanks for dropping by. Cyan is fantastic. Like, the whole cast of that show is fantastic. So, that's that. And I was the same way. I almost shut it down because of the CGI, but I stuck with it, and I just love the characters. Like, the later seasons weren't as good, but the first season was super good. Blood Blockade Battlefront is in S tier. What? Is that a bad thing? Are you mad at Blood Blockade Battlefront? Is there people that don't like that show? Peach tea, peace tea, yeah. It's, like I said, I got a case of it, and it's decent. It's not bad. It's like, it's almost very watery tea, which is fine. Snow White with red hair. I'm gonna put high A. It's not a perfect show, and it needs more seasons bad, but I really love it. I'd almost put S tier, but my S tier is getting way too big. Where and why did you get a case of peach tea? It was at an auction. Wait, is there a new Blood Bucket Battlefront? No, they just did 2 of them, I think, so far. Is there just 2 seasons, right? There's a lot of Bones I haven't watched. Studio Bones is super good. Super good studio. Except for this one. This can go in the trash, too. I hate Concrete Revolution. I hate it with a burning passion. I'm sorry for all those that love it. I think it had great style. Really super good style. But I hate the show. I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I'm sorry, I hate it. Ghostic's not, because I have not got a chance to watch Ghostic. That was one of the other ones that we were talking about possibly pushing in the watch along just to get it done. I bought it on Facebook auction. It's fine. I trust the people, so it's fine. It's a very small town auction, so if they don't give you something proper, you could probably kick their butts. Love the ED for EBBB. They have some really great music on that show. Like, everything all around is really good on that show. This video has been brought up to you and our friends at PC. I don't know if I can get some sort of sponsorship. I doubt it. Watch everything that Andrew throws in the trash. I mean, are these like your super favorites? I'm sorry. I might do a KY in a bit. Snow White with that hair. I'm gonna put it right next to the other one. That's the 2nd season. My Hero Aka. Dang. I just put them all in one. I'm not gonna break down the seasons. I don't care to remember what was good and what wasn't. It's kind of one of those series where the beginning of it was good. Like, I did like everything all the way through. Like, the first tournament was good. And then at that point, I think it kind of plateaued for me and just started kind of very slowly going downhill. The whole thing with the Endeavor arc, with him pretty much going to train at the Endeavor's facility, all the way into the villain arc, I kind of like certain parts of it, but for the most part, I hated it. And it just never recovered itself. And especially like this first core of this season, I just want it to be over. I think the only thing about this current arc that I liked was everything around, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on names now. I like Hawks. Like, Hawks was great. I think Hawks was fantastic as well. I don't know. It's not recovering itself. I would probably say it's a solid B right now. I think B's good. I think I'm probably giving it more credit than I want to, but I think B's solid. Overall, like all seasons. Go on C. I don't blame you. What studio list is going to be the longest? I think the longest in the list was Madhouse. No, I think this one's the longest one. No, Madhouse I think was the longest. Falvey makes it an A. She was like in one scene this season, I think. What, two scenes probably. Good question, but they did a lot of non-anime work. B is fair. I was gonna say Froppy is the best girl. Eureka 7, I struggle remembering anything about Eureka 7 except for Anemone. I don't even remember if I liked it. I mean, I did like it. I did like it, but I don't remember if... I know at some point it really lulled for me. Shoot. I'm gonna do high B. It's so hard for me to remember anything about it, but I know that I didn't hate it, and I liked a lot of aspects of it. So I think I'm safe in B. I need to rewatch it. Was he a very old studio? Or anyone remember Manga, the studio that dubbed Street Fighter 2, the animated movie? Right. A tier at least for me. Eureka 7, I don't remember, but I liked it too. I'm gonna be honest, when Deku saved Eddie, it brought tears to my eyes because he basically achieved what he's always wanted to do. The music during the scene was just so good. The rest of the series is meh. I don't blame you. I think that's logical. Anime that switches studios like daily life is gonna be a confusing tier list, right? Right? High School DxD was the same problem, right? Didn't they have like 3 studios for that one? Or was it 2? I think they just switched to another studio late. A dub studio is a studio. That's why it's a studio. It doesn't mean that it's an anime studio. It's technically a studio, Web. Don't be nitpicking. We do dubs around here. Yeah, it's basically a licensor, distributor. Soul Eater. I think I'm gonna put it high B2. I really don't like how Soul Eater ends. I don't remember too much about it, but I really hate the ending. But it's really good. I really enjoyed all the way through. I'd probably put it A. I'll put it A for now. I really do like it. It's just got a weird style to it, and I think when I was first checking it out, I hated it. But then, like, over time, I'm like, I really like what they're doing with this style. There's so much good animation in there, too. Oh, no, never mind. Excalibur, it's going to be. Excalibur just took it down a notch. I forgot about Excalibur for a minute. I hate Excalibur. Yes, D because of Excalibur. I'm not going to go that far down, but damn, like, Excalibur kills that show so bad. Ugh. Excalibur. Excalibur. I'm going to California. Excalibur. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I haven't watched much of Orin High School, so I didn't put it in the list. It's just 3 very painful episodes, though, Relantis. You don't understand. It's 3 very painful episodes. You don't understand. I mean, it's a funny joke because it's literally the reason why nobody wills this powerful thing. It still doesn't make it okay. It's still extremely painful. Were they involved with the whole production of the Cowboy Bebop movie? This is the one I think I was questioning marking. Shoot. Research, hold on. Sorry, research. Yep, they do the whole thing. Interesting. I honestly don't even remember anything about this movie. So I'm probably just going to leave it down here anyways. It says Bones and Sunrise on the list. Yeah, I know that Sunrise did the original TV series for sure. One bad episode makes me drop it. I don't blame people and when it comes to things like that. Sometimes you just can't stomach it. I don't remember anything about that one either. Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. I think that one's a solid B for me as well. I think I'm going to pop this up here as the joke's done. I think I'm like B on Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. Tokyo 8.0 is kind of like one of those ones where I think it does a really decent job of portraying a disaster. And it's one of those ones where you get the hook one time and that's kind of done. It's like a one-time watched and done kind of thing. Biggest troll in anime history because of the thing at the end. No, they Jose and Target. No, I haven't watched it yet. All right, Web Gaming. Thanks for dropping by, man. Take care. I'm sure we'll talk later. We talk way too late, and then I don't get any sleep. What the hell was the name of the show? Freaking Dragon and the Girl. Misone to something. I don't remember. The Dragon Girls. I didn't like it too much. It had some moments for sure, but it wasn't great. It's not bad. It's not great. Oh, you linked that video? All right, thanks. Well, I guess I'll check it when I take a break in a minute. And if it's the right one, I know I can't show it on YouTube anyways. Dragon Pilot, Hisone Tomi-Sotan. Yeah, that's what it was. Misotan. Wolf's Rain. This is one of those ones where, again, I have extremely positive memories of this show. Like, I loved this freaking show when I watched it. I do remember that I hate the ending. I hated the ending so bad, but everything else about it was super good. The OP is freaking amazing. Again, the only stain that I remember about this show is I hated the ending. And I think that's a good it's a good thing. So yeah, I haven't watched that one either, King. Anything that I don't have in here, I have not watched, or I don't have anything to say about it. It's been too long, I haven't watched, or whatever. Endings kind of make the anime for me. I hated Akame ga Kill. I started hating Akame ga Kill, what, 3/4 in? It was like, there was a certain death that I just... Well, no, it wasn't a certain death that I hated. It was the dog lady. The dog girl made me hate that show so much. I am justice, I'm doing good, really, I'm doing good. Couldn't stand her. She made me hate that show. It's a good concept, though. Akame ga Kill has a really good concept in the idea of basically the dirty work. Blooding your hands kind of thing. Escaflowne has a certain element of nostalgia. It's an incredibly animated show. It is literally at the cusp of when studios actually got tons of money for animation. I watched it after they did the Kickstarter from Funimation, which again, I still laugh that Funimation did a Kickstarter for it. Doesn't hold up too much. The story doesn't really hold up. It still has incredible animation, but the story doesn't really hold up. So I think I'm going to put it in the B tier. I'm going to put it right in that B tier area as well. I still think it's kind of a classic. It's kind of like... It's almost one of those must-watches, but... Classic is a very difficult term to use anymore, and I don't like to be stuck in the 90s anime golden age type of mentality. The opening sequence in the movie was amazing, yeah. Well, we're talking about... This is Escaflowne, if that's what you're asking. On all the VHS clamshells for the Escaflowne, isekai female lead, 2D mechas, less than it seems corrupt. Less than an A seems corrupt. Okay. Like, less than an A corrupt? What? Like I said, I appreciate... Like, if you asked me, like, 10 years ago, I'd probably say A or S. But after, like, rewatching it, it's like, it doesn't really hold up. It's really the pacing. Like, for the pacing... Like, for its time, I guess the pacing's really good. But for the day standards, like, the pacing's super slow. And the main character is kind of annoying. Again, it's like one of those cases where I almost want to stop myself from being too critical because it is a product of its time. And if you think about it, for a product of its time, it's really, really good. It's like a really good show for its time. Even though technically back then we had a lot of stuff that was really well animated. But it, as a storytelling element, pacing-wise, it's a cut above a lot of shows in the 90s. Remember when that anime was on Fox and instantly pulled from the air, like, within a month due to blood? They're like, oh, look, it's cartoons, throw it on here. Wait, what? It's like my joke that I always tell about going to Blockbuster and going to the kids section and getting, like, super raunchy anime. Like 80s anime where everything had nudes and violence and beheadings and stuff. Ico Incarnate, it was okay. I know this got a lot of flack, but I enjoyed it. I don't know if I want to put it in B with everything else. I think high C is fine. I know a lot of people hated Ico. I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like about it was the ending. It really pushed a bad guy at the end that did not work. Like they had basically the cackling bad guy come out of nowhere like, oh crap, we forgot, we need a big bad. Let's throw this guy into the situation. Yeah, there you go. There's a bad guy. He's not even 10 minutes worth of effort to writing this character. Watch along starting soon for episode 2. Yeah, I'm gonna miss it. I'll have to watch it later. That's it. That's Bones. That's Bone Daddy. I don't think I was too harsh. We only got three trashes and 1D. And it's pretty well evened out here. Yeah, that's good, I think. Any objections? Any objections? I don't think anybody was complaining about the trashes. I know that for sure. Except for somebody saying that should watch all the trashes. You need to watch along with a Kyoto. Yeah, I was trying to push Ida into doing a something that would push us to being able to nominate Keon so that I can finally figure out if I had watched it all. Yeah, like I said in the end, it's kind of a nice sign of how good the studio is in general, is just how many good titles they have. You haven't seen K-On? Then yeah, we definitely need to do that. We definitely have to do that. Should I do Q&A next? What do you guys think? I have Shaft, Q&A, Madhouse, Wit Studio, Ufotable, Mappa, Kyoto Animation, Trigger. I think Q&A has like no, never mind. Mappa has a ton. And I think Madhouse, yeah, Madhouse has a ton too. Justice for Froggy. Q&A 100%. You get to see anything from Trigger. Q&A. Does Q&A even have any bad anime? Yes. Yes, technically. Yes. Q&A is not a perfect studio. I'm sorry. I know that's shocking, but Q&A is not a perfect studio. It's much better than most studios, though. We'll do Q&A. Let me take a quick break first, though. I'm gonna try out the whole like Twitch wannabe ad thingy. Alright, back. Yes, that is the ADV trailer, the Do It Now one. That thing is like so massive hype. I love it. Like, it's like every show in that video is like massive hype. And I don't know, it was like one of those ones where I watched it multiple times because it's like, it legit like gets you pumped up. Like, it for its time was like, holy crap, this is freaking anime, dude. It's super violent and gory and dark and just amazing. Yeah, it's easily one of my favorite little anime cartoons kind of things. Cartoon things. Commercial things. Anime is cartoons, right? I would boop Sword King Princess Ghislaine Duldia on the nose. I would die, but it'd be worth it. What did I come into? What conversation did I just walk into? I'd boop too. It's like, it was worth it. It was worth it. Genji, 5 minutes ago, thanks for the sub. I don't know if you're on the stream. We be booping. There's a lot of characters in Mushoku that needs booping. All right, so let's do Kiani. Kiani was good. Let's see. I have like 3 Clannad's in here just because one is going to be the seasons and then the after stories. I guess I technically could have had, I don't know if I have, yeah, I have the other after story in here. So there's like 3 after stories. Where's the other after story? Did I not put the other after story is Kyo, and I don't see it. Maybe I forgot it. Maybe I only put Tomo in here because it's Tomo. So, yeah, the original series, I really, really love it. S. I love it. I love everything about it. What's funny is like Kyoto Animation. Clannad, when it first came out, was like at the point in which we had way too many shows that were harem shows based on visual novels. But the same problem each one of them had was the main character was self-insert blank characters. And it really did feel like Clannad was the first case where I'm like, holy crap, this main character has a personality. And he's constantly teasing the girls. And the chemistry that he has with each of the girls was super good. And it's obviously something that when I checked out the visual novel, it's there too. But it's like, it really does make you feel like, wow, this is like a cut above everything else just because the main character is actually good. I feel like the original series gets disrespected nowadays because the second season was on another level. Yeah, it's funny because when I run into Aira doesn't like the second season, the after story, which is like, wow, that's a different take than I've heard from most people. Most people in general, whenever they don't like Clannad, they just don't like the style. They really don't like the superly huge eyes, which when we had discussions before about which show we would love to see KyoAni redo, I said Clannad, because I think the big hang-up that I always typically hear from people is they don't like the art style. The eyes are too big. I understood why the eyes are big, and that's something that's present with everything in its current time period, like Air TV and Canon, is they love the big eyes back then because they're literally like windows into the soul. Seeing big eyes get all googly and teary gets you like emotional. So it's definitely an old style of anime that kind of just was kind of lost at some point, and KyoAni for those ones specifically kind of kept it. Praying mantis characters. Clannad Ghost Stories killed the show for me. Clannad Ghost Story. I don't remember that one. I just didn't care about the art style. I just enjoyed it. Yeah, I want to say that it was kind of off-putting at first, but gosh, was the show gorgeous, and I just got over it really quickly. But yeah, I think it's great. And After Story kind of goes up there with it. I really loved it. There was some slow points in After Story, to be honest. Like, it does get pretty slow at points, but I think overall I enjoyed it. Canon, I don't recall too much about. I do remember it feeling a little bit disjointed with the storylines. Like, it felt very, okay, we're doing this story. Okay, we're doing this story. Okay, we're doing this story. But I still like it. And the jam joke never gets old for some reason. Like, I get sick of certain jokes, but I don't know, the jam joke never gets old. It's like when I seen them actually make a reference to it in was it Kanagi or whatever? Not Kanagi, that's a different show. Gosh, the chibi joke show for Key. It nailed it when they brought that up. I was like, yeah, that's was literally the most terrifying thing about Canon. Key Studio, KyoAni anime are mostly amazing, right? It kind of makes me wish they kept with KyoAni for a lot of their shows, but at some point they just kind of stopped, which is unfortunate. But I think that's not necessarily a decision by Key. I think it's more of a decision by Kyoto Animation, because it seems like they at some point kind of moved into doing their own projects. They still do things like Maid Dragon and stuff that's not their properties, but they probably have a pretty huge pull for the what's made from it, I guess. Air TV, I really like. I have a massive nostalgia for Air TV. I think it was technically the first anime that made me like bawl my eyes out. But I do remember it's not like a perfect show. But the nostalgia really does keep it up there for me. I really loved Misusu and that whole story. I'm so glad I got one of the last remaining DVD box sets of that series when I did, because yeah, now all you can really get is like some cheapo save versions from Funimation. But I love it. I forgot to do this one. She's best girl, so obviously S tier. She's best girl, so obviously S tier. I'm sorry, it's waifu favoritism here, but what can I say? It's not like a crazy good story, and it doesn't technically capture like the whole story, but that's what they were kind of doing with a lot of those after stories after they did the original after stories. They were just kind of going, here's the basic concept of the story. They did the same thing with Kyo. I wish they did all of them, honestly, but I guess no, I think Kotori even didn't really get most of her story done. I won't say anything. I wonder why you would be upset about that. Let me do this. First season, second season, Liz and the Bluebird. First season, B. First season's B. I wasn't a huge fan of it. There was a lot about it that I didn't like. A lot of the character writing I didn't like. There was a lot of characters that were focused on I didn't like. I think it was still gorgeous. Still gorgeous series. Visually, directed, and everything beautifully. Just the story itself, I was very frustrated with. Second season, S tier. Loved it to death. Restored my faith in the franchise. Love it, love it, love it. Senpai is great. She made it a lot of that show fantastic for me. And it had the pedigree, amazing directing and visual style that they did with that one. Liz and the Bluebird. I know this is going to make a certain person angry. Wasn't a fan. I found it extremely boring. Again, similar to everything else with the Q&A in general, it's gorgeous. Like, this show is beautiful. Shots fired. I know who's not in my chat based on the fact that something hasn't been said yet. But, it's not terrible. It's not D. It's not trash. It's just... It was just... I was extremely bored watching it. What's up, Duhalt? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. See, that's kind of where I'm at with Sound Euphonium World, is first season, second season, Liz and Bluebird. And I cannot wait for the next season. I'm super, super excited for more. And the movie, too, right? Yeah, movie. Tsurune... it's kind of the same boat as Sound Euphonium. It's like, it's beautiful, but at the same time, like, the story in the later part of the first season was just kind of meh. I didn't like how it kind of concluded itself. It was fine otherwise, though. Nishijo, S. Is confirmed third season of Euphonium. Yeah, I think they confirmed a movie and a third season. Right? Am I crazy? Or was it just a movie? No, it was a third season has been announced, and I think a movie with it too. Yeah, Nishijo is amazing. Absolutely hilarious. Love it to death. It's such a clippable show too. Like, I have found myself down the clips channel rabbit hole of Nishijo. It's just every clip you find is just gold. I love the little scientist girl. It's fantastic. Even the teacher freaking fighting the deer is too funny. Yeah, it's easy, Scott. It's a beloved series. I cannot say enough about how much people should check that one out. Through and through, it's a great comedy. Violet Evergarden, this is the movie. This is the first season. So basically, I'm going with TV series and movie. TV series is phenomenal. Gosh, my S tier is going to get way too stacked. It's going to get way too stacked. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but, like, the weird thing with Violet Evergarden was, like, it was one of those series where it wasn't available in the West immediately. I think it was Europe that got it early. And when Europe and Japan were broadcasting it, or streaming it, there was like this group of people that were saying this show sucks. Like, they were saying legit that it was a bad show. And I was absolutely blown away. I'm like, there's no way. Like, the PVs look gorgeous. This is gonna be a great show. It's Kyoto. And then when I finally got my hands on it, when we finally got a hold of it, I think it was a good thing that it kind of sort of set me at like a hesitation. There was like was it like episode 2? There was like one episode early on that wasn't good, and it sort of made me scared. Like, the opening's good. The opening's really good. And there was like this one episode that wasn't that great. And then it just keeps taking off from there. And I'm like, okay, good. This isn't a bad show. And I'm like, holy crap, this is much better than I expected. It got me on emotional so many points. And the key thing in the middle of all that was I loved Violet's story. Like, I absolutely loved Violet's story. And to add on to that, the movie was pretty much the best ending I could possibly get of it. Not only was the ending a great, like, conclusion to the story, but they also did a really good job in kind of incorporating a previous story in with it in a really clever way. So, But Evergarden 10 episode 10 ripped my guts out. I shared it with my whole family. Most of them don't even watch anime but liked it. And again, that was the letter one, right? So then if you like Nishijo, do you also like Lucky Star? We're gonna get to that. I know a lot of people that go for it one but not the other. We'll get to that. I guess I can get into it now. I really love Lucky Star. I really enjoy Lucky Star. I think it's super cute, super fun, really silly. It is definitely not as good as Nishijo. It's been longer since I've watched Lucky Star than Nishijo, so I might misremembering. But Lucky Star is, from what, okay, so Nishijo is super like nonstop, hits you with comedy. The skits are very quick and very witty, and they just keep hitting. From what I remember of Lucky Star is it's much slower. Yeah, it's very slice of life. Yes, I agree, Scott. It has a feel of slice of life in there. It's not just a pure comedy, and that kind of makes it slower. And so it's kind of hard to compare the two of them. But Lucky Star does have lulling points. It's not always hitting, but at the same time, it's a really, really good show. So I would probably put Lucky Star in A. It's definitely not a I like this and I don't like this. It's just more of a I like this as a comedy and that's doing it perfectly. Whereas Lucky Star is not on all full cylinders every time. What is the first Violet Evergarden? Was that the stage one where she was making the song for the performer? It wasn't the best one out of the whole series, if that's the one that I'm thinking about, but it's still really good. I'd probably put that one A. The running scene was the most random, amazing piece of Sakuga out there, out of nowhere. Her running across the pond, or are you talking about a scene in Lucky Star? The pond scene was beautiful. It was a really good It was a really good introduction of like CGI in with it. It was really well kind of put together. All right, Maid Dragon. So season 1, season 2. Where's Beyond the Boundary? It is right here. I've said this before several times, so I'm repeating myself for a lot of people. I do find that Maid Dragon 1 and 2 kind of do different things. Maid Dragon 1 felt very comedic with a push to emotion and slice of life at the very end. I mean, it has a drip of slice of life in there. Somebody discovering the importance of having somebody to come home to, basically. But it felt very more comedy. Whereas I think the second season was trying to be, was really ramping up the comedy. I'd like them for their own reasons. And neither one of them actually do anything terrible. Or not great, I guess is the best way to put it. So they're definitely like some of my favorite stuff. Oh my gosh, my S tier is gonna get so full. It's just Kyoto, that's how Kyoto does, alright? Let's talk about the school running scene in Nishijo. Oh, okay, I got you. It's got some really crazy Sakuga, like, really crazy Sakuga. Like, the OP is really great. I actually like Kobayashi's both seasons, different ways. That's what I mean. Like, they each do something. They're technically both going for comedy slice of life with a hint of drama. It's just I feel almost like the scale for comedy and slice of life is sort of in one way or the other for each season. Or the other seasons of Chernobyl. I was just, unless I have something specific to say about a specific season, I just put them in one batch. I was kind of tempted to put the second season of Love Chernobyl just because I want to say that I didn't like the second season as much as the first season. Like, I liked one aspect of the second season, the idea that you kind of see a follow-up of a relationship, which is super rare in anime. But it wasn't as good as the first season. But I decided to put them together because it's not that big of a deal, honestly. But I love Chernobyl and Other Delusions. My S tier is getting way too big. I'm gonna stick it in high A. I might bump it up, but my S tier is getting too much. Not like it matters. Not like it doesn't matter that I have a bunch of S tiers. It's a good sign that this studio has a lot of S tiers. Just for the idol dance scene alone, it is S tier. Episode dude done. I meant to go read through the manga. I might just read through it tomorrow and give a report to everybody tomorrow for the watch along if there was anything different, because I'm reading the manga alongside it. For those who don't know that we're doing the watch along. It's not a good reason not to put it at S tier. It's got too much in here, so I'm not gonna make it S tier, right? This is Beyond the Boundary. We just recently rewatched it for our watch along on the Discord, and it was as good as I remember it being. Like, it really does feel like the comedy's on point. The action scenes are amazing. The characters are so freaking lovable. But yeah. Yes, the watch along is for Noragami on the Discord. We're watching it every night at like 8 Central, depending on your schedule, whatever. Time zone. Yes, Andrew, words. Free is the only one that I don't know why I put in here, because I have not finished it. I've watched pretty much most of the first season, and I really do enjoy it. I'll put it high B for now. Like I said, I haven't finished it, but it's solid. I do like the characters. Like, it's very surprising to have a male-centric show that's obviously going for hot guys and actually enjoy the chemistry. So, I dropped at this. Oh, you dropped it at that point, I think, back then. You said when you seen the tail, you dropped it, which that would have been the first episode. Isn't there a movie for Beyond the Boundary? Yeah, it's not the movie wasn't great. I think it was a solid conclusion to a lot of stuff, but it wasn't great. What streaming service is it on? Which one are you talking about? Noragami's on Crunchyroll, I believe. Beyond the Boundary should be on High Dive. A lot of Kyoto seems like it's on Crunchyroll. Like, I think Chinubio's on High Dive. I think Chinubio, Clannad, Beyond the Boundary, Tsunade, I think those are all on High Dive. I've only seen Dragon Maid and Chinubio from the list. You got some work to do. You got some work to do. At least focus on these ones up here, right? Beyond the Boundary, yeah, that's definitely High Dive. For who knows how long, because High Dive is just dropping licenses like a rock. But no, the reasons why Beyond the Boundary works so great is, like I said, it's got great characters. The main girl, Megane, is super cute. I love the chemistry between the sister and the brother. He's an absolute goofball. The animation's incredible, and there's a lot of action scenes in it. Like, Kyoto, when they do action, they just go crazy. But it's got like a little bit of dark feel to it, which is kind of nice as well. Yeah, the girls are great. And even the male characters are great. Our first D. Woohoo! Yay! Our first Q&A show that's in the D category. Yes, Amagi Brilliant Park is... I just didn't like it. Like, I didn't like it at all. And here's a sad thing. Hold on 1 second. Here is the sad thing. If I can get it. It's story time. It's story time. I even have the premium edition box set, so this is like salt on wounds. So I guess I don't hate it. Well, actually, I bought this just to watch it. So I buy everything QAnon. It just happens. It's a nice box set too. I don't even remember what it comes with. Do you remember what it comes with? It's got a big old freaking box in here. Oh. Oh. I forgot this was in there. It comes with the fan art thing too, which is kind of spicy. It's kind of spicy. Yeah, this is kind of like this one, and holy crap, there's a lot of raunchy stuff in here. This is like they just went down to a doujinshi sale and said, "Here, give us your art so we can put it in our art book." I mean, it technically was one of the rare cases of KyoAni having like ecchi in their show, so I guess it makes sense that they kind of embrace it. Holy crap, I can't show like any of this on YouTube. Some good freaking art. Anyways. I'm the perfect salesman for Sentai Filmworks. I want some cut on those. I want some cut on this stuff. What else is in here? Holy crap. I guess I can go to full screen. Hold on. If it even... Yeah, set up. Okay. Holy crap. They, like, had a whole bunch of junk in here. This is, like, back when Sentai Filmworks went, like, super... Where's my focus? Sentai Filmworks at some point went really crazy with their box sets. I don't even know what this is. It looks like a pin. It's a mirror. It's literally like a compact mirror. Can you please focus? Thank you. Freaking fighting with my camera. It's like a token. They even give you a token. I have to like block my face. My camera is obsessed with my face, alright? Here, I'll just do this. That's easier. They got like a whole map. Like they have like a actual like map like you would have at like a amusement park. Yeah, my camera is not being nice right now. Certificate of authenticity. Stickers? Who the hell wants stickers? There's nice stickers though. This makes me actually like the show. I don't even know what this is. Are these magnets? No, these are more stickers. There's like a whole crap ton of stickers. Like, there's like a bunch of stickers. Like, here, have a bunch of freaking stickers. I hate stickers. I like art cards, not stickers. Stamps for your, like, like you're supposed to take, I guess, the map and put a bunch of stamps on wherever you go to. What is all this crap? Oh my gosh. I don't remember if I went through all. I think I went through this stuff when I did my first unboxing of it. Gosh dang. There's a guidebook. A guidebook for the park. Like a bunch of guidebooks. Like they just like went full hog with actually making this a thing. Like there's a bunch of guidebooks for going to the park. Actually, I think, yeah, these are just kind of episode breakdowns. I hate episode breakdowns so much. I'll put this away later. A lot of stuff. But yeah, the art book's the spicy stuff, though. That's the spicy stuff. I didn't go to the park. I just watched a documentary about it. Yeah, it's got some good art in it. It's obviously different artists, and they list who the artist is at the bottom. What's the spiciest one? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get demonetized. I know it. Let's go this way, even though I'm already showing it. Like, she takes her gun out of underneath her skirt, so somebody obviously had to make art of it. Of her. Yeah, I'm not gonna show the rest. Anyways, that's a Monkey Brilliant Park, my declassified show of KyoAni. YouTube police. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if they've detected Ponsu on the thing. Oh, monetization is still on. They have not detected the Ponsu. YouTube has not detected the Ponsu yet. Is it bad that I want to smell that gun? I love you, Genghis. Anyways, Let's just get the other one. Let's get the other Band-Aid out of the way. I liked it more than Amagi Brilliant Park, but yeah. That's another one that kind of got hit. Did I have a limited edition on that one too? I want to say I do. I do. Alright, I'm climbing up a wall again. Hold on. I'll scream if you guys need to contact Chris and let him know to come save me. You guys have his contact information on the Discord? Of course, this was, this one was actually Crunchyroll, so they didn't go crazy with it. Yeah, that's the... Dusty. It's been a while since I've taken this one down. Oh, gosh. Yes, I bought this one, too. It's a standard BOG Crunchyroll release, even though I think Sentai did it, right? No, it was Crunchyroll Funimation. That's when they were first doing their partnerships. There's like nothing in here. Which sucks because I remember the, was the Japanese release had like the whole, like, sleeve cover for it that made it questionable. I don't remember. Do they have the art in here? Yeah, it just must have been the Japanese release. They did this cover where they had, like, the characters and they were in bikinis, but it had that whole kind of circle cutout thing, so you weren't sure what was underneath it. But, again, Crunchyroll just said, just do a standard. Just do a standard release. But no, like, Myriad Color Phantom Worlds, I think it started off good. I think the first episode was great. The introductions of the characters are always great. They had the baboon episode or whatever was really hilarious. The cat girl stuff in there was great. And then, like, the ending, like, it's like they wanted to get, like, super serious with it and just kind of went downhill from there, so. It was alright. The music was good. The OP was super good. Like, I was jamming to that song forever when that came out. That one bear was in few of the Kyoto anime. Yeah, it's the Fumafu character. Is that what you want to talk about? Because I think he was in, yeah, he was in Amagi Brilliant Park and Fumafu. Fumafu has ecchi in it, yeah. Yeah, Fumafu was like, I think their first time, well, I think they had it before then, but yeah, Fumafu had ecchi in it. Amagi did. Myriad Colored Phantom Worlds. That's pretty much it. Hey, Tungsten, we're doing Kyoani right now. We already finished Bones. I think Bones is over here somewhere. Yeah, there's Bones. If you want to complain about any of it, just take a snapshot and then criticize me. Yeah, the character designs and everything in Myriad Colors was, like, super good. I loved all the character designs. A Silent Voice, I think, is an easy S tier as well. I love it. I read the manga all the way through. The moment I heard they announced they were going to do a adaptation and it was going to be Kyoto Animation, I was beside myself with excitement. I was, along with many other people, when I heard that it was going to be a movie, I was very upset. Like, I was like, there's no way you can fit, what was it, seven volumes into one movie. In the end, I think they did a great job because technically the movie sort of cuts this one segment out. And it's not that that segment is, like, crucial. Like, it's not 100% necessary. Now, I will say the lack of that segment makes one character not really make much sense to the story. And that's my biggest problem. I forget what her name is. That was the black hair girl. Like, she was super nasty. And I think because they cut a lot of that segment out, a lot of that, I seem to remember a lot of that stuff doesn't make any sense. But in the end, it still pulls off the story. Like, when I watched the movie, I sort of was, it had been a time before I had read the manga. So it wasn't that I knew everything off the top of my head. And I felt like when I watched the movie, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I think that's the crucial thing. If you're going to cut content, you don't want to feel like stuff is cut. So they both work. Like, if you want the full story, read the manga. But I still think that if you just want to watch the movie, please go watch it. It's a great, great movie. Super emotional. And then if you love the movie and you want more, go reread through the entire manga. Do both. I think that's the best method. Just, why not both, right? But yeah, it's super good. I love it. But yeah, anyways. K-On! K-On! Is super good. Why not? I keep debating to put him up here because there's so much up here, but whatever, it's K-On! There's a lot of good shows from Kyoto Animation. I love K-On! Attention to detail, great comedy, great characters, great music, lots of fun. It's got everything. I love it to death, and I need to rewatch it really badly. Recommend to read the manga after the movie since you get a little more of a conclusion. Yeah, there's also like a additional little segment, which was kind of a sad thing they skipped, but again, it doesn't ruin it. Fumafu. This is a hard one for me. This is a hard one for me to remember because I literally watched all of it before the recent season, and so it all kind of blends together. I want to say that I liked Fumafu more than the other parts up into the last season, but it's not great. So, cough. I like K-On! More than Bocchi the Rock. I can't disagree. Like, they're obviously doing different things. Yes, we all know they're doing different things. But, yeah, K-On! Just, the entire show is amazing. Which, yes, Bocchi the Rock is pretty solid all the way across the board, too. But I think K-On! Wins out a little bit. Just by a little smidge. And I think it's mainly because with Bocchi the Rock, and they could get it, this could change as it goes along, so I'm hoping we get another season. At least with Bocchi the Rock, all the characters don't get a moment to shine, whereas K-On's very balanced with its characters. Yeah, Bocchi's a lot more heavy, even though it is comedy in the end. Haruhi Suzumiya. I gotta be perfectly honest, I barely remember anything about this show. I got into later parts, and I blacked out. I don't even know if I remember what happened at the end. I need to rewatch it, so I have no comment. I'm just gonna leave it down the bottom. I really don't even know. I don't even know how I feel about it. It's been too long. I don't remember anything about it. I want to say that I didn't like the later parts of it. I don't know if that affects it or not. I'm just going to wait and rewatch it before I make a comment on it. I really don't know where I stand with it. Tomoko Market, though, I want to say solid. It's almost barely reaching into S tier. And it's funny because when I first started this series, I was not liking it because of the bird. I hated the bird. Then at some point I fell in love with the bird. And the rest of it's really great, so. I haven't watched Hyouka yet, even though I bought the whole series. I have not watched it yet. Hyouka, unfortunately, was in that period of time when not everything was getting licensed, and Hyouka was never licensed, and by the time it got picked up by, I think, Funimation, it was like, I hadn't got a chance to check it out yet. I bought it right when it got licensed, but I haven't got a chance to watch it. And it's like, it's probably the only one from Kyoto Animation that I really need to watch. Hyouka's not bad. That's some praises right there. It's not bad. It's not bad. That's a pretty good little slope we got going on here. If you ignore the fact that this is 2 rows of S, it's kind of like a ramp of excellence. But again, I kind of expected it to be very heavy. I actually wasn't expecting to have this much low on the list, but it's a good studio. Like, Kyoto Animation just knows how to turn out incredible titles, so. And it's like I said, I would argue that probably only these 2 are the big misses, but they're not terrible. Except for Amagi Brilliant Park. Yeah, I don't know of any other studio that would have that many S tiers. Maybe... Definitely not Trigger. Mappa? No. I wouldn't even say Mappa. How many did Bones have? Bones only had like a single row, right? Ufotable? I don't even think Ufotable. Let's do Ufotable. That would be a quick one. Yeah, we only have like a single row up here. Where's Ufotable? If you counted Shaft, if with Shaft you included every single Monogatari series as its own thing, it would do it. But I didn't put every Monogatari series in here because the only one that the only Monogatari series ones that I feel different about is Hana. Hana's the only one that I would give like a B or an A. But everything else, Monogatari series, I would probably give an S. Easy. Madhouse would be interesting. Would Madhouse have enough? I don't think so. I don't think Madhouse would have that many. I don't think Wit or Mappa would. Let's do Ufotable. This will be quick. Yeah, Satoshi Kon stuff is up in there in Madhouse, isn't it? And I haven't even watched all of Satoshi Kon. Like, I think I have just 2 in here. Yeah, Perfect Blue and Paranoia Agent. Was everything Satoshi Kon Madhouse? Was he exclusive to Madhouse? I think it's fair to have Gatari broke up. The problem with that is that I watched them way too close to each other. Like, I mean, I have a video out there. If you look at some of my very first YouTube videos when I had this channel was just strictly me unboxing stuff, I did a full unboxing of all of them. Like, I dropped... It hurts me to think now because I don't have that much disposable income as I used to have. I dropped like some $600, $700 on a single order and bought everything that was available. And I unboxed them all. And so me and Chris basically sat down and watched pretty much through all of it in like a month span. So it's all kind of it's all kind of meshed together for me. And so the only one that I remember that kind of stands out from the rest as being like, I think if you told me the names of the arcs, or particular story arcs, not necessarily the names of them, because yes, obviously each of the names is a story arc. The only one that really stands out to me as like, that didn't really work was Hanamogatari. Like, that one was the only one that just didn't work. Hana's, that particular one just did not work for me for some reason. Satoshi did most of his stuff in Madhouse. That makes sense. Gosh dang, dude. I still to this day believe that Satoshi Kon was like the biggest loss that we have in the anime. I mean, yes, technically, what's his name? Berserk mangaka, which he was technically not really doing anything anime related, was a huge loss to the industry in general. But Satoshi Kon, he was a huge loss because everything he touched was gold. Like, I'm taking my time finishing watching the rest of his movies just because I don't want it to end. Like, it's almost like I'm trying to treat him as if he's like, you know, releasing a movie every 4 or 5 years, and then I check it out and love it, and then I wait for the next release. But he's amazing. Yeah, my next one I'm gonna watch is Millennium Actress. I have it, and I've been super hyped to watch it. Monogatari is great. I love how there's so much subtle jokes and wordplay. Yeah, that's literally what he does in the novel series, from what I understand, is he just straight up wordplay. And that's where I think Shaft was like the perfect storm for it, because people don't realize that, or some do, but I think it's a really interesting thing to note for some people that don't know it. Where is Shaft? Where is Shaft? Did I go past Shaft already? There. For those that don't know, technically, It sort of started happening in Tsukiyomi Moon phase, but technically the Monogatari style was created with Zetsuba Sensei. If you go back and watch Zetsuba Sensei, you'll realize very quickly that's literally the Monogatari series. Like, if this didn't exist, well, I mean, it might have been started here if they started with this series, but the Zetsuba Sensei, that's where they like birthed and molded that style. Because you'll see it when you watch that series, you're like, oh, this kind of looks familiar. And over time, you're like, holy crap, this is literally how they made this. You have all these shots where there's just random references on the boards and the backgrounds and stuff. And it's kind of like why they did that whole book release of references with the Zetsuba Sensei when Nozomi Entertainment released it. There's so many damn references and random jokes in that series, it's not even funny. And again, they crafted it, they perfected it, and then they applied it to Monogatari. And I think that's perfect because that's why the Monogatari series is as good as it is. So it's kind of interesting in that regard. But again, they kind of had the jokes and the punchlines crafted back here with Moon Phase, but it was really Zetsuba Sensei. Haven't seen any Satoshi Kon movies. Start with Perfect Blue. It's a good starting one. It's heavy. I don't know if you're into heavy stuff, but it's super good. He's into psychological thrillers. And he's literally the only... I would argue really one of the only directors out there that just nails it. Like, everything he touches is gold. Shaft has other S-tier shows besides Monogatari. Yeah, I mean... we'll do it right now. We'll do it right now. We're doing it live. We're literally doing it live. Moon Phase is okay. I enjoy it. It was super cute at the time. The OP is great. I love the OP. Zetsuba Sensei, I'd probably say... Arguably, I would probably say A tier. Like, I rewatched it here recently, and it's super good. The problem is that Zetsuba Sensei has a problem with not knowing when to stop. We've jumped so many lists, right? I just need to finish the other one. No, I finished Kyoto Animation. Yeah, I was thinking about doing another one, but anyways. Zetsuba Sensei doesn't know when to stop. And I made this comment when I was doing my review. I did an actual video review, because I thankfully got the rights to be able to do clips and stuff, which is great. But in my review, I was talking about the fact that it really felt like at some point they establish a joke and they don't know when to stop. So as it goes along, you're like, just stop. You told the joke. The example that I gave in my video was the fact they have this one segment where they go to this festival and they have these hype men. They'll put something on the shrine and they'll carry the shrine through the festival and they'll keep chanting about it. So this person has this book. They wrote a book. They throw the author onto the shrine and they go, the book author's great. The book author's great. And it hypes up and sales go up. That's the joke. They hype up something, sales go up. And they do this for like what feels like 10 minutes straight. And it's like, just please, you told the joke, move on. There's another segment where there's a street, an alleyway or something for everybody. So you have the lady that's running away from her problems at home. She has a road. And so it keeps introducing people that have problems and they show them a road. And it's like, I get the joke. You're killing the joke. Where can I watch Satoshi Kon movies? Ugh. I don't think there's a streaming service that has any of their stuff, because I think most Satoshi Kon is, isn't it Shout Factory? Is Shout Factory Satoshi Kon? Let me go check one. And I don't know that anybody is streaming Shout Factory stuff. Yeah, it's Shout Factory. Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Yeah, it's Shout Factory. Oh, 11 Arts too. Well, Shout Factory and 11 Arts pretty much work side by side. I mean, you can see it on the bottom. Well, if you could see it, it's basically both of them. They basically do everything together. 11 Arts Shout Factory. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they have any sort of streaming setup with them, because mostly everything 11 Arts and stuff, they're trying to, and Shout Factory, they're trying to keep it like in their control so they can do like theatrical screenings of them on a regular basis. You need to watch along with Bambi and Godzilla. What the hell is Bambi and Godzilla? I must have missed that whole bridge. Yeah, Monogatari series in S tier, easy. I can talk that one to death. It's creative. It's amazing. I hate the CGI still, but the dialogue's just super good. The seiyus are fantastic for it. It's just phenomenal. It's super creative. I think I've mentioned it before, but I think the Monogatari series, why it's so good is chemistry. It's chemistry and dialogue. It's just through and through perfect. So, except for Hana Monogatari. And it's got so many damn waifu characters. Like, I love all the characters. And Araragi's great. Yes, and Siscon teeth brushing. And lolly vampires eating donuts. Anyways, garbage. This is like they're this Shaft has like story arcs. They have like hopefully a redemption arc coming up here soon, but they sort of have story arcs, and here's like when they have their like, I don't know, that moment when they like get beat up by the bad guy and they have to like go back, lick their wounds and train to get better again. And you think that they got better, and then this comes out. Oh shoot, hold on. I need this. I didn't need it for KyoAni, but I need it for this studio. Yeah. So they had this like downfall where they did Assault Lilies. I'm sorry, Genghis. Assault Lilies. They do Assault Lilies. And then they do Luminous Witches. Not My Witches. Was this travesty of wannabe strike witches? Like, I don't know, jab for money. And then I thought that they were going to fix things. Like, this 3-episode, like, story comes out. And I'm like, holy crap. Shaft's back. They're back. They're going to make it again. It's the old Shaft. They returned. Everything's Daijobu, right? No. Episode 4 happens. And then 5 happens. And it feels like 4 happens again. And it feels like 4 and 5 happen again and again. And then I wonder if we're ever going to get past 4 and 5. And then they do a food fight. And it was great. And then it was over. So, that was not... Ruby was not the redemption arc. Do you have the guts to watch this? The guts to watch this? I think the last good thing they've done... Like, I was kind of liking... Shoot, I blank it on my mind because I don't want to remember it. Magia Record. I want to say that I kind of was liking Magia Record, but I just can't get over how much they literally screwed me over with the mobile game, and so I told myself I'd never watch it ever again. What was their last good show? I want to say their last really good show was probably March Comes in Like a Lion, and I really wish that they would get back to it. Because March Comes in Like a Lion is like literally S tier. So it's like they did Madoka Magica, S tier. They did the Monogatari series for a long time, S tier. They did March Comes in Like a Lion, S tier. And then it's been nothing since then that's been really good. Like, even with Pretty Boy Detective Club, it's okay. It is technically Nishioisen, which again is the creator of the Monogatari series, but they didn't give enough time to really build up. Fate Uwu. I actually like Fate Extra. I'm sorry, we're gonna get to that. I actually do like Fate Extra. Pretty Boy Detective Club is really solid. I'd give it a B if we had another season, but since this is all there really feels like they're gonna be doing, it's literally just character introductions. They're good characters, but if they're not gonna do anything else beyond this first season, it's not worth watching. Yeah, it's a build up to nothing. And that's the thing, it's like, when you watch Pretty Boy Detective Club, again, you feel Nishio-san in it. It feels like Monogatari series because it's the same writer, and it feels the same in the regards of how it establishes characters. And I'm super fascinated with all the characters. I want to know more. It's literally got its hooks in me. And knowing how this writer works, I know it's only gonna get better from here. But again, with only one season, I'm not getting that. And thus I can't even suggest it because it literally feels like what if the Monogatari series never had a second season? All you got was Bakemonogatari. Would you be able to suggest it? Yeah, probably. But it would suck because you would never get to see where the characters go from there. You would just get introductions and that would be it. But now, granted, with Bakemonogatari, it felt a lot more focused. Like, it would try to get through at least an entire story arc with a character. Whereas this one was feeling like we're doing these little stories and briefly introducing characters every now and then. But you never got through, like, a full-on story with one of the characters. So, yeah. Random, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're at the good part, because we're talking about Shaft, obviously. No, I joked about this one. Fate Extra. I think I'm stuck between A and B, obviously. I'm gonna put it in A for now. I think I was the only person that really liked it. Now, it's got some jumble mess in there. Like, it has some super jumble mess in there. And I kind of hated that was it the last 3 episodes? Was it 3 episodes they delayed? Or it wasn't delayed, but it was like a second OVA. ONA, whatever. I enjoyed it, though. It was enough that I actually went out and started playing Fate Extra. This jumble mess, that's a Fate franchise, right? I do agree. That's technically what you're getting into. But no, it was like this aspect that, like, early on, it kind of introduces this world where everybody starts to die, and then, like, they're in this moon world, and it's got layers to this moon world, and people are selling aspects, and you have to go through the layers, and each of the layers has its own theme, and some people are kind of giving up on even progressing the layers, and as it goes further down, things get super weird with each of the stories. Like, the whole thing with Nursery Rhyme was like it was a trip. Like, as I think more about it, the more I really did like so much of it. And it has some really good servants that they introduced with it as well. It's just kind of one of those ones where it almost doesn't feel too satisfying in the end. But I enjoyed it. I actually, even though it had a lot of hate, like, what is it sitting at right now on Mal? I'm a bit curious. I know it had a lot of heat when it first came out. But of course, it was the same with me with Apocrypha. Yeah, 6.29 on Mal. Let's see what Anilist does. Where is ratings on Anilist? But no, I think the main thing from it that I love the most is Nero. Like, Nero, Fate Extra sold me on Nero. Like, I love her character so much. Who's a character in my profile pick? It's just Spirit-chan. It's our Otaku Spirit mascot. Getting on off, going to join the K-On! Watch Along when you do it. Getting on. Getting on off? Are you're leaving? If you are, then have a good day. Thanks for dropping by. If my favorite Sakura face is in it. Yeah, they even had Rin Tasaka in there, and that was good too. I loved Rin Tasaka in it. Was that the one don't go in the basement? Yes, there was a hole in the basement that you don't go to. Madoka Magica, I really, really liked. I think S tier's fine. It's an S tier show. I enjoy it. I still to this day don't know why the movie was so much better than the original TV series, but it is what it is. So I don't know if they rearranged something or if I just was in more of the mood for it, but I loved it once I watched the movies. I don't much care for the movie, Rebellion or whatever. I just feel like it just kind of just flip-flops and it doesn't really do much, so I know I'm being harsh, but I'm putting B. I don't know, I didn't get much out of the movie. I was playing around with rewatching Magica. Yeah, it's kind of one of those ones where I don't even know if I want to rewatch it. Like, I watched the movies because so what happens, I would try to watch the original TV series. Didn't like it. Especially the later parts. I absolutely hated whenever they got into what's-her-face, the long black-haired girl. Hated it. And then I wanted to get the series because it's kind of like one of those classics that 10 or 20 years from now, everybody's going to say you still have to watch Madoka. So I kind of wanted a copy of it, but I didn't want to buy an Aniplex TV series because dang, you're dropping some dough on that. So I went ahead and bought the movie and loved it. When I rewatched it, I was like, holy crap, I actually really like this. So it ended up being a good thing in the end. But again, like I said, the movie, the Rebellion or whatever, just was like, it felt like it would just want to undo everything. And I'm afraid that the next movie is going to undo that, which is just annoying. When having Roxy on top, always having Roxy on top. She's up to my head. Right here. It's been so long, I don't even know if I can really say if I even remember Negima. Nisekoi, I never finished it. The moment they talked about the keys and who has the keys, I'm like, I'm done. I turned it off. I do want to go back and I actually really want to get the manga and read through the manga, since it's obvious they're not going to finish this series now. Is the manga good? Has anybody read the manga? Does it have a really good pacing and ending? See, for Negima, or I'm guessing you're talking about Negima. No, for real, who had the key, damn it. It's alright. I love Magica 18 months ago when I thought it would end. Now I think they're just going to string me along forever. A good story needs a good ending. See Game of Thrones. You had me until the end, Philip. You had me until the end, Philip. You had me until the end. What's good about that comment is that I hate the ending of the TV series Game of Thrones. Absolutely hate it. And the book is just not ended yet, right? Like, so it works as a joke both ways. I know you could have liked this TV series. If you did, that's fine. It was a good wrap. It's a wrap up, I guess. He's like 2 books behind. Yeah. There is a struggle with Madoka Magica because it does feel like they're just pulling Jin back in just to continue it. There's no doubt. You hate the ending too, so you're just joking? I wasn't sure if you were joking or not. It should have ended with the war against the Night King, yeah. Liked Anya, the ending sucked. Makaku City Actors, Garbo. I didn't even finish it. I hated it. And then when I seen what they did with the later episodes, I was like, holy crap. Oof. This is an like these two right here. And I would even kind of slip in these two as well. These D and trash tier titles right here are proof that Shaft isn't perfect.
And I think people don't realize that sometimes when they think that everything Shaft touches is beautiful. And it's like, no, technically not. They still screw up a lot. And yes, a lot of it is scheduling and letting certain groups handle it. But like with Magaku City Actors, they had like an entire episode that looked like oof, like the art was completely different. Like they just had some random studio handle it. But like it was the problem in the beginning. Like the reason why I dropped this, I think I still even had, well, no, it's not up there anymore. I was doing blog posts on this show, and so I had all these screenshots where like you literally had this shot of this hostage situation, and then like the next shot, it like it had like, I don't know, character over here was toppled over and this TV was fell down, and then the shot would change again and suddenly they're back up. It was like the whole what was that other show that I joked about? In Search of Lost Future, when they kept changing perspectives in the club room, and this telescope kept disappearing. It's like the consistency of the backdrop was way off. Who's spoiling things? Kofuga Graffiti, whatever, the girl gourmet graffiti something. It's fine. I wasn't huge on it, but I'm not a huge foodie person. I know Chris really loved it, but I didn't even finish it. Game of Thrones shows it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good a show is if you don't stick the landing, right? Which is odd because he technically gave the approval to them to do it. So it kind of feels odd that he didn't at least prove what they were going to do. Yeah, it's super good if you just want some cute girls eating food. Like they're super cute girls, and I think they even had a little ecchi in there as well. Yeah, list looks balanced. That's not a good thing technically. It's a very balanced studio. I'm guessing this is a TV series. This is the movie. I don't know. I'm lost now. I didn't know I had two of these in here. That's fine. I'll leave it down here. Let's just throw Negama in C. It's fine. It's okay show. It's old school super harem type stuff, so doesn't hold up too much to today's standards. The next episode preview song is so adorable for that cooking show. Still haven't watched Food Wars. I watched like 3 seasons of it, then I just kind of gave up on it. It was really solid opening, but I think when they got to the whole like festival and they were doing like the food stands and stuff like that, that was like the last part I watched. Oof, Ruby's trash tier. I don't want it to be in trash tier, but what do you expect? That season was woof. That season was super woof. What was the other one I was gonna do? I finished that one. I can close this. Finish that one. Not doing that one right now. I was gonna do Ufotable. That's right. Yeah, it was like the first 3 episodes was literally like their pilot. So it was actually like, it was like a movie, wasn't it? They literally had like a movie pilot for Ruby. And it was so beautifully done. And it was technically based on the source material. And then when it goes to 4 and onward, it's completely Shaft original. And it just wasn't a good story. And they didn't want to do any effort into it. And when you consider the fact that the last episode was a food fight scene from the original series, it almost feels like whenever they did stuff that was readaptation of the original, they had to one-up it. But their original stuff, it's like they didn't feel like they needed to one-up it. So like, just do whatever. Just throw something on the screen. It was super bad. Way, way bad. Hey, Brian, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. All S? No. So my first Ufotable show that I watched, I think, was Ninja Nonsense. Ninja Nonsense was... I enjoyed it back in the day. It was just kind of a goofy, kind of a little slightly pervy ninja nonsense. Like the the most dysfunctional ninjas ever. And in the wake of watching things like, I don't know, Ninja Scroll and stuff like that, then you watch Ninja Nonsense, and so it's kind of this whole goofy twist to the whole ninja genre. So at the time that I actually watched it, I really enjoyed it. I ended up getting a review copy from Nozomi Entertainment and had to rewatch it. And it still kind of holds up. It's not spectacular. It's like, I can't really sell it to people that it's like an amazing show or anything like that, but it is a fun watch. I still hate the grandpa guy, the ball muscle dude. Most dysfunctional outside of Naruto, right? Some dysfunctional girl, edgy Naruto. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of season 3 of Danmachi. Saved all the good stuff for the fight against the bull. Whole season was slow, and then it came. Yeah, the bull fight was like the Taros fight was super good. Holy crap, they just went nuts. But I mean, that's the Danmachi in whole. Like, except for like this recent season, it just feels like they just didn't want to put much effort into that show. The only foodie show that I ever liked, Emiya Family. Dinner Time with Emiya Family or something like that. It's not amazing, but I really liked it. Like, it was a foodie show that I liked, and it was basically because of fanfare. Like, just seeing the characters not trying to kill each other was great. Like, they're not trying to kill each other for once. So I get to see, like, Saber sitting down and eating with, you know, Lancer and everything. For once... Wait. Did Lancer die? A really gruesome death? I don't think even in that one he died in a gruesome death. Did they play it off as a joke? I know that, like, Fate, Carnival Phantasm loved making fun of that. He didn't. Okay, good. Yeah, so nobody dies. Nobody dies. Even Ilya doesn't have to suffer like she typically does. Lancer doesn't have to suffer like he typically does. Everybody just has fun and sits down and eats food. But no, I actually liked it. Like I said, I typically don't like foodie shows. Even though it seems to be changing recently. Like, I don't mind campfire cooking either. So, I don't know. Fate Zero. Fate Zero goes S tier. I love it. I love it all the way through. I love it. Was it my introduction to Fate? I don't think it was. I think I watched the original. Yeah, I watched the original Dean. The original Dean Fate I watched. I shrugged at it. It was okay. I acknowledged it had flaws, but I didn't fully understand what flaws it had. It wasn't a spectacular animated show, but it was my introduction. Then I watched Fate Zero, and it was like, holy crap. I wanted to go back and rewatch Fate Stay Night Dean, because I'm like, man, I really like this world, and what was I missing from Fate Stay Night Dean? So I went back and watched that, and I'm like, oh, this is really terrible in comparison. Yeah, I should have just went straight to the games, but Dean didn't really sell me on the games very well. It wasn't until Zero that kind of really sold me on it as a whole. Did I watch Prisma Ilya? Yes. Yeah, I haven't watched the movies for Fate Ilya yet. I really do need to. I think I bought it. My intro is Fate Stay Night Unlimited. That's a good start. It's a really good start. That's like I tell most people. If they're asking where to start, if they want to get into the original Stay franchise, I always say do Unlimited Blade Works, then do Zero, and then do Heaven's Feel. Don't do, like some people say, don't do Zero and then Unlimited Blade Works, because Zero assumes you know what happens in the original Fate arc, so. I messed up on watch order, started with Fate Zero, then Unlimited Blade Works. And so you got spoiled on some stuff, which is unfortunate, but that's fine. Next person that asked me Fate Grand Order, First Order? What, First Order or what? Or Babylonia or whatever. I need to do a tier list of all Fate series. I I think I generally like every single Fate franchise. I don't think there's one that I don't like. Like, I even enjoy Apocrypha, and I know that a lot of people didn't like Apocrypha. It gets rocky towards the end, but I really did like Apocrypha. Technically because I do like the fact that with most of them, they always add some sort of twist to it. Even Lord El Melloy. Hate that name. Lord El Melloy Zeppelin Grace Notes or whatever. I like that one. Again, kind of a more subtle detective version of it, but I did like it. Yeah, a Fate. I don't know if it would be called Fate, but like general, I guess, Type Moon. I guess Type Moon would be good, which is pretty much what's in here. Because so much of Type Moon has been done by them. Like, we have all this stuff here and stuff. Is Garden of Sinners Fate Type Moon? Or is it not? It's technically Nasuverse, right? Not technically Type Moon. That's Nasuverse, isn't it? Isn't Garden of Sinners? Fate needs more Excalibur and less archers that don't use bows. And less people dying when they're killed. It's Nasu, yeah. I haven't watched Tsukihime, whatever that's called. I keep hoping they're gonna do a remake, which I was kind of hoping they would do when they did that game again, but we'll see. Demon Slayer, I put all the Demon Slayer in here because I kind of have to specify. I think this deserves a specification. Fate Zero is my only exposure to Fate series. Now I'm waiting for Fate Strange Fake and currently reading its light novels. Always open to a Type Moon wiki to see all of the terms and definitions. Yeah, the good thing about Fate Strange Fake is that is the writer of Dudadada and Bacano, so I have really high hopes for it. Just like I had high hopes for Fate Zero and... did he do another one? No, I think that was it. Which was Jinobuchi, so... Excalibur! Yes, Fate Strange Fake is really good, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so... Whenever Aniplex can get their crap together, we will enjoy that. Are you looking... So you're just going to wait for Fate Strange Fake. If you're looking for any other suggestions, I would highly recommend Unlimited Blade Works. And beyond that, the only other one that I can, like, truly 100% say is going to be a good watch would probably be... If you're looking for some, like, mind-bending stuff, go for Fate Extra. If you're looking, like, just for a straight-out battler, Apocrypha's good. Babylonia is really good, and I don't think you necessarily need any sort of context to Fate Order. If you do, I would say Primer, Fate, Grand Order, First Order, and then you should be able to jump straight into Babylonia. But that's getting into some weird, deep, like, long-running series stuff with the Order stuff. Yeah, you need some Astolfo in your life. Check out Apocrypha. Yes, Astolfo for some Apocrypha. So yes, we have what's her face? Medusa. But now we have Demon Slayer 1, Demon Slayer Mugen Train, and then Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc. The original Demon Slayer, I really enjoyed. Here's the problem, because like the first half of Demon Slayer season 1 is not great. Like, it visually looks great, but it's not like, it wasn't until probably when they fought that one like ground swimming person that I finally started liking the show a lot. And then the fight with like the spider family was like super good. So it's not like the whole season was great, but it was a good enough establishment. The drum guy was cool too. Like the drum guy, the spider guy, and the swimming demon guy. Loved all that stuff. So I think it's a solid A. I think it's a good solid A. Once you get past that kind of dry start, which I hate saying that. Once it got going, it really got going. Yeah, that's the problem with saying it. Like, it gets good here. We had that problem talking about To Your Eternity on Discord the other day. It was like, it gets good here, but you kind of have to get through the slog. It's like, how do you sell a show like To Your Eternity where you're like, it has these 10-episode slogs, but then it gets good. It just sucks. I think most people are... I think there's a lot of people that are used to that because of shonens, but anyways. And that's the case here. This is a shonen. Mugen Train's solid. I would probably say Mugen Train is probably just a cut up from the first season just because it's a very condensed, perfect setup. Entertainment District arc. Hot take. I'd probably say C. It's got good animation, but it just doesn't really have much else besides that, unfortunately. Mugen Train has Lisa best song after 10 years and singing her equivalent to the Titanic theme, right? Like, everything she touches is amazing lately. Can't get into it. Season 1, the beginning was like episodic demon killing. Go to next one in a sense. Then it came more like a complete arc movie or season. Yeah, that was definitely with like the spider story. It was like super good, and it laid out each one of them really well. Not that hot of a take in my opinion. I don't know, it got Anime of the Year, didn't it? Or did Attack on Titan steal it? I mean, C's probably harsh. I don't know. We'll see when I get through the rest of the shows on this list. Season 1 Mountain Challenge was decent, yeah. Mugen Train is one of the top grossing anime movies of all time. Look it up. Yeah. I mean, anything Demon Slayer itself is hotcakes. Like, there's... Demon Slayer is like printing money. It is super good. Yeah, I'm gonna put in B. Demon Slayer is literally anything it touches is gold. So anybody like disagreeing that it's not popular is lying to themselves. You don't have to enjoy it. I'm not saying you have to enjoy it, but to think it's overhyped or anything like that, you're kind of a little bit being disingenuous just because of how much it's making. It's obviously that there's a group of people that really love it and it's doing something really good. So speaking of something that doesn't do thing good, Token Rambu. I didn't like it. I really didn't like Token Rambu. I wanted to like it. Hey Fox, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. I think I was like just fresh off of how much I was loving like anything else Ufotable touched, and then I got into Token Rambu and I'm like, yeah, that's it looks good. Anything that Ufotable touches is gonna look good, but is it gonna do anything that's interesting? It didn't really. But I think it's just kind of a product of what it is. I mean, again, this is no diss to Token Rambu. I'm sure there's a group of people out there that love the series, but it is technically Pretty Boy Swords, I think, based off on a gacha game. So what do you do with that? You show off the pretty boys destroying things, and that's really all it felt like. They go out to periods of time where their wielders, I think, were in danger, and they fight bad guys that were gonna kill them at the wrong time in history. I don't remember. It just wasn't interesting in the end. What else was the original Symphonia? When I watched this, I think I was fresh off of really... And wait, wasn't Tales of Vesperia Ufotable too? I just thought about that. First Soldier, whatever. Anyways, Symphonia. Token Rambu made me specifically... was made specifically for fangirls, yeah. I mean, it's the pretty boys. Which I think... Which really makes me question, because there's two Token Rambus. One was done by Ufotable, which is this one, which it felt like they were trying to go for a very dark and gritty look to it. And then they made another one which was more comedy centric by somebody else. It wasn't Ufotable. I forget what studio it was. So it's like that one felt like it was more geared towards the fangirls, because it was just as many guys in the screen as possible being cute. So I don't know. Maybe it was just... It almost felt like this was trying to pull in a shonen audience, I guess, is how I feel about it. Heaven's Feel, I haven't finished the third one, but I'm really enjoying it. I was talking about Symphonia, that's right. I love Tales of Symphonia. I love the game so freaking much. The anime is okay. I don't think I specifically was in love with it, but it did okay. It's been a long time since I've actually watched it, so I don't remember if I really liked it, but it was a solid adaptation. They obviously skipped a bunch just to kind of get it going, but again, you're taking a 60+ hour JRPG and trying to shove it into, I think it was 2 cores. God Eater was solid, actually. I didn't hate as much as most people did. I think it had a very unique style for Ufotable, because typically Ufotable goes for like anime art style, very almost flat skin tones and stuff, flat design with the blending of CGI backgrounds and visual effects and visual filters. Whereas God Eater, they almost did like what's the best way to describe it? It had its own style to it. It felt very, look, comic book? Is comic book a good example? A good, like, old style, like, X-Men comic book almost style to it with the edges and stuff? It was very unique for its time. And again, it was another one of those ones where it felt like they were really pushing in a lot of use of CGI for even the characters themselves, and they did a really good job of blending it. Yeah, God Eater was originally a game. I think they did a good enough job of getting a good, decent story arc in there, and not just getting too stuck into the concept of the missions and stuff the original game had. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty solid adaptation, all things considered. Do I recommend it as a B? If you're looking for a solid, like, post-apocalyptic fight for survival action series, sure. Don't go into it thinking that it's going to blow your mind. If you're looking for something that's going to really have some deep plot lines, no. It's a very basic story. Has Ufotable always been a game adaptation machine? I think that ever since they really started nailing their works and becoming a name for themselves, they've been pretty much the one where the big mobile companies have been... Okay, history of Ufotable. history lesson of Ufotable. I think the earlier moment... We of course had, like, the earlier days of Ufotable was doing things like, you know, Ninja Nonsense and stuff like that. At some point, they started doing a lot of commercials. Ufotable started making most of their monies from making PVs for commercials. That's why if you ever look up the Tales series, Tales of Symphonia, Vesperia, and all those, the person that does the PVs was most of the time Ufotable. At some point, they started branching off into the mobile market. You had all these mobile game companies wanted to have really amazing PVs and openings to sell their mobile game. And the one that was making them sell was Ufotable. If you got Ufotable to make you a PV for your mobile game, people were there day one and rolling on that gacha. They wanted those characters they see in that gorgeous PV. And I think that kind of branched into a lot of game adaptations like Tougen Ranbu, yes, all the Tales series, God Eater. They became almost like the way of selling those products. And it worked, obviously, because they seen success from it. So, again, not to say they always did it. It was been mostly Tales series. And then, again, it bled over to God Eater and, what was the other one? Tougen Ranbu. So, it's not that that's all they do. It's just, they've sold it. Well, technically, Fate is another game adaptation, technically, so. What happened to a Ufotable tax fraud thing? I don't know. I kind of just stopped paying attention to it at some point. I just assumed one person was going to get kind of nixed off the group. And Ufotable was probably going to be held liable for a little while. They'll probably... nudge and pat somebody on the back at some point and get away with it. Who knows? Nice history lesson, very appropriate to understand the studio that I didn't know. I mean, it's not like everything they've ever done, but it's just a general sense of it, I guess. Like, if you look on, I don't know if you can find it, but like, I would assume if you can go on to YouTube and just search for Ufotable trailer, you'll probably find a ton of these different mobile games they've done trailers for, and they're all absolutely gorgeous. Like, every now and then I'll be scrolling through Twitter or something like that, and this trailer comes up, and I'm like, holy crap, this looks amazing. Oh, it's a mobile game. Then they're like, oh, it's Ufotable, he's making a new... No, it's just a mobile game. It sucks. Anyways, Gyo. Just because they didn't adapt the later parts, I'm putting C. It's a dumb, like, if you like Sharknado and crap, go watch Gyo. Like, it is the most, like, disturbing, dumb movie ever. It's Junji Ito. I totally didn't even know that they did this. I have to double check it again. It is Ufotable, right? It's kind of one of those ones where I'm like, it can't be. It is Ufotable. Oh my gosh, it's so weird that's Ufotable. Gyo is dumb. This is where we got the joke of the gershunk. That's the sound the shark makes when he kicks down a door. That's where the meme came from, is Gyo. It's Junji Ito. It's super weird. If you like Sharknado and stuff, please go watch it. It's super dumb like that. It's basically fish get legs and they crawl onto land and start killing people. The problem is that it doesn't adapt the whole thing, and it's not a big manga. Like, it's like, I have a tome and it's like this big. It's not even that long. It gets so much weirder after that. If you think Gyo the movie is weird, read the manga, because it gets worse. Like, it gets into how this stuff is happening. It gets into some weird carnival that starts to take these creatures and make them into a show. It gets super weird. But it's easily one of the most disturbing, and like, Junji Ito is typically all about, like, he's about unsettling. Junji Ito does unsettling. He doesn't do jump scare. He just does, this is wrong and it feels weird. And Gyo is like a prime example of that, but in a more almost Hollywood movie type setting. It almost feels like a B movie Hollywood setting, which is typically what you don't get a feel from with the other works from him. So it's worth a watch if you're looking for something really stupid and dumb and just twisted. But I hate the fact that it didn't adapt some of the weirder parts of that story. No, it's not Higurashi. Nothing like Higurashi. Higurashi's just, like, violent. This is violent too, but it's weird violent. Yeah, people get just wrecked in this movie, though. Yeah, they made a good OP for the Fate for PS Vita. Yeah. I was like that with Code Vein. I thought it was an anime, but nope. Sad face. Oof. No, Code Vein didn't have an anime. Okay. I was thinking of a different show. I was thinking of a different game. Then go to the trash. It's a dumb fun. Can't really recommend it along Sharknado. Yeah, like I said, if you're looking for a show to watch with a bunch of friends that are willing to watch something that's kind of unsettling, it is a perfect movie. Like, I can't think of a better movie to watch with a bunch of friends and with some drinks than Gyo. Like, it's prime for dumb fun and just watching people get gruesomely destroyed. Anyways, Tales of Hysteria. I wanted to like this so much because, again, it's so gorgeous. It's so freaking beautiful. I kind of liked, I forget what her name is. I forgot this girl's name, but I really loved her story, but it just felt so generic JRPG, which is, yes, based off a JRPG, but dang, was that super let down. But it's gorgeous. It's super gorgeous, though. This is proof that if even Ufotable with his gorgeous animation, it can't sell me on a series. It can't make a series great. Official YouTube channel, Ufotable YouTube channel started uploading their PV trailer works on their channel. Worth to check out for people that are interested. Cool, cool. Garden of Sinners. Okay, I'm gonna preface this with my current status on this movie series. I sat down one time and I watched through all of the series, but I think the last two, maybe either one or two movies away from being done. And then I got like super sidetracked. I think it was like during a time where something really bad happened IRL and it completely sidetracked me. And by the time I remembered that I hadn't finished it, I'm at the point now where I need to rewatch from the beginning again. And I just haven't really set myself aside. It's just like with Heaven's Feel. I haven't watched the last one because it's been so long. I need to restart from the beginning. So keep that in mind. I haven't technically finished it, but I really love what I've watched so far. I don't think it's amazing. It does have some extremely long, it's slow paced, and it's not that it's bad pacing, it's pacing that sort of bugs me. I can't really explain it. Like, I don't think it's bad pacing, but at the same time, it's really slow. It's atmosphere, basically. So, I don't know. Maybe when I finish it, I'll probably get it. But it's an extremely fascinating series that I want to kind of get a full conclusion on. So, I don't know. I was watching it based on the movie number. So, I'm guessing that's release order, because that would be the number in which they released them. I think I was looking into possibly watching it in chronological order. But I typically like to watch things in release order because that's technically what they did. So, I don't know that when I go back and rewatch it, I'll probably still watch it release order. But I'll see. I'll give it another shot here soon. Last one, Limited Blade Works. I'll go with this. I think Ufotable's release of Unlimited Blade Works was what we all needed. It was what we all deserved. It was what Dean was not able to deliver, and it worked out great. The only thing that sucks about it is the skeleton CGI, which I still don't get why Ufotable, even when they did Unlimited Blade Works, cannot handle skeletons. But other than that, it's really great. It's super good. It ripped my heart out several times. It was very tough to watch at points. It looks visually amazing. And it made me fall in love with Rin Tasaka, which I was not... Rin Tasaka wasn't really on my radar until Unlimited Blade Works, which obviously is the reason because she's the focus character, so... Which makes me really want Ufotable to do the Fate art. I need the bone of my sword. Wrong bones. I'm talking about the skeletons. I hate the fact that they have not done at least a Fate route movie. Just finish it. We've done this much. Do the last one. Archer Crafts really is made of archers. I didn't think Heaven's Feel would happen, so it's like, why not Fate happening? Unless they just feel it doesn't have enough different about. I know that Heaven's Feel is way different than Unlimited Blade Works. I guess the argument can be made that Fate route isn't that far a stretch from Unlimited Blade Works route. Because when I think about the Dean version, nothing stands out to me like, yeah, this is doing something super different than Unlimited Blade Works. Unlimited Blade Works almost feels like it's covering everything for the most part that Fate route. Unlimited Blade Works feel like it's covering everything that you would technically need to cover from the Fate route. I guess that's the point. And yes, technically with the whole ending part, it kind of gives at least Saber an ending. We need Bind to do more Prisma Ilia so it can actually finish it. Studio Bind was doing Prisma Ilia. Was it like the team from it? Each version of Stay Night is different route. Right. Right. Fate route is Saber. Unlimited Blade Works is Ren to Sokka, and Heaven's Fill is Sakura. Oh, you just want Bind to do Prisma. I mean, they're good at doing things that are super controversial. Why not? I'm really curious to find out what their next thing they're going to be doing. I really want to know what they're going to do next. I might end up doing the video on it right now, but I still want to wait till what their third. When do you think they're going to announce Studio Bind's next B team project? I guess like later on this year would probably be the earliest moment they would probably announce something. Fate route to me is like strictly a intro the entire scheme. But yeah, there's some powerful moments in there. Yeah, like I said, I just don't know that there's anything strictly in there that's going to be super standout-ish. So it makes sense they don't do it. It's just, it's one of those things of like, you've gone this far, do it. You've done this much, do it. Maybe after part 1 of season 2, Mushoku Tensei conclusions, which probably the earliest would probably be the end of this year. I can see that. I can see the wait time being that, so. I had something else I need to talk about, and I cannot remember what it is. So I might just call it a night unless I can figure out what it is right now. Let me look at something real quick and maybe I can remember it. There is something I need to talk about. I did record my most insane, I don't know what the title's going to be. My most insane moments skipped or changed by the anime adaptation of Mushoku Tensei. It ended up being an hour-long recording, so I don't know if I'm going to do it in a single drop or if I'm just going to split it in half at least. I wasn't expecting that much stuff to cover. I think as I started talking to Adrian, I realized more and more stuff that they skipped with the anime adaptation, so I will post those hopefully sometime next week. I already have Mushoku Mondays already pre-recorded. I need to edit that for next Monday. It's going to be a stinker because I claimed in it that a certain character, I'm not going to say it on the stream because I think it could be spoilers for some people. A certain character I might not like. I said it in Mushoku Mondays channel in Discord, so you can go there and look if you want. So clickbait for my next Mushoku Mondays. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yes, Adrian's mad. Just wait. I'm just going to say wait, and you'll find out why. Just tell us Mushoku Mondays is coming without a skip. Yeah, I'm not skipping Mushoku Mondays. Mushoku Mondays is my priority right now. I'm putting everything aside to prioritize Mushoku Mondays. I'm having way too much fun with it, so it's my joy every week. Besides my live stream and hanging out with you guys, I would rather Bind just do Mushoku Tensei universe. They can start with Roxy's side stories and old Dragon Tail. That's interesting. The B team's obviously trying to keep additional funds coming into the project, so I understand why their B team is there and exists. They're trying to get other revenues coming into the studio itself, so I'm not necessarily against them doing side projects, and I don't necessarily see them doing... I don't necessarily see the side projects can make them more money than doing adaptations of other stuff, so... What you covering next, Volume 8? Yeah, so this next Mushoku Monday will be epilogue and extra chapter of Volume 7, along with prologue and chapter 1 of Volume 8. So 4 total chapters, which one is like super short, so it makes sense. And it worked out great because the end of Volume 7 technically opens up what's going into Volume 8. So it all kind of works out well. So, yeah. Later, Genghis. Thanks for dropping by, man. Hope you have a good night. Take care of yourself. So when do you think we'll get a Season 3 of ReZero? 4 more years? I'll throw a random spitball on the wall. 2025. There you go. 2025 we'll get another season. Because, I mean, what, it'd take us, like, what, 4 or 5 years between Season 1 and 2? So that sounds about right. 2025. Unless Elon Musk gives them money to do it. Unless some billionaire that loves Rem gives him a bunch of money. Was that Elon Musk that was saying that he wanted more? Or was that somebody else? Was that that guy from was that the VR guy that wanted more? I forget who it was. ReZero was short. MC died really quick. Stopped watching. It's like scroll the cast at the end of it. It's like was the bad ends from Nier. It's like suddenly he just dies and then scroll. That would be great if they did that. Like ReZero, every time that Subaru dies, it just does like those cast scrolls super fast and it plays like what was it, the ED from like episode whatever 16 or something, whatever it was. Didn't ReZero just have 10th anniversary? Yeah, but I don't, with how it's just been feeling the last few years with announcements coming out of for ReZero, everybody gets hyped up and then nothing comes of it. So I'm just at this point now where whenever somebody says an announcement or a stage play is coming, I'm just gonna wait until something happens, because I feel like people feed in way too quickly that they're gonna announce something and it never happens. I bought the novels on my phone, haven't read them yet, though don't got time anymore. We'll hopefully get a little bit of a breather there so you can take them, jump into them. It's a lot of baiting is. Well, it's the community. I don't know necessarily that it's the company, because the company's doing the project so that they can sell other stuff. It's not that they're baiting people. I mean, they could be. They could be just a bunch of jerks. We think it's the Firefly of anime world where everyone is incredibly bitter about the show not continuing. Probably ReZero. Probably ReZero. I can't really think of anything else. Like, everything that people are super hype about gets sequels. I mean, for the majority of people. Like, there's a lot of stuff that never gets sequels, and it breaks my heart. It was Spice and Wolf for the longest time, but now that's finally supposedly coming. But the only one I can think of that people are constantly foaming at the mouth over is ReZero. Like, that is the only one that I can think of that a lot of people are just like, where the hell is this? Yeah, Konosuba took a long time, but at the same time, I don't think people are as, like, vicious about it. High School of the Dead is a good one, but I think people are understanding of it, right? Like, people see that and they go, well, okay, I understand why. RIP, kind of thing. The way they word it, Spice and Wolf should be a remake. It's a reanimation or something. How they word it was something like it's a reanimation. Like, it starts again or something like that. Like, they're literally, the way that it's worded, it's not like and it's so old. Like, if you look, because the original Spice and Wolf, I think, was done like by early Digipaint. Like, it doesn't age well. And so the expectation of people to go watch the old one, plus the fact that they skipped an entire volume, my hope is that they start over. And not only start over, but get more into, what's his name? Why am I blanking on the guy's name? Get more into his head. The male lead's head. Get more into his head, because when I was reading through the first volume, I'm like, holy crap, there's so much in this dude's head. It's ridiculous how much. Not that I want to sit there and dwell in dialogue in his head, but there's some context there that's kind of missed. Yeah, Berserk and Claymore need a remake. I would love for them to start over from the very beginning with Berserk. And they don't have to get crazy with the animation. Just do it properly. Do like the original series did. The original series had a lot of stills. But no, Claymore I would love. And yes, that's technically one that would have to be fixed. It got originaled on its ending, and it's not a good change. It's not a good change. No, I would say that Claymore gets some good moments later on. It's not my favorite ending. I read the manga, the entire manga. It's not my favorite ending of the manga, but damn does it get good. Like, it gets really good after the anime ends. Sorry to repost, but I want your take. Are you up to date with the Roxy spinoff? Am I up to date on the Roxy spinoff manga? I have avoided it because I'm also reading along with light novels. I have them. I'm missing 4 and 5, but I'm not reading them yet until I get to, was it like volume 10, I think, or 10 or 12 that people are saying not to touch because the first page or something like that has a spoiler for volume 10 or 12 or something like that. So once I get to that point in the volumes of Mushoku Tensei, yes, I will be probably immediately reading it. I don't think I'll be able to hold myself back anymore. The moment that I get to that point in the novels, I'll be like, all right, I'm opening up, I'm cracking it open. I'm cracking it open. Can somebody confirm, was it 10 or 12? Yes, 12. Okay. Thanks, Philip. Anyways, I'm going to call it there. I think I pretty much covered everything that I was going to do. Like I said, Mushoku's set up. The video I just talked about is done. And I'm pretty much mostly caught up on all the anime this season. So hopefully here soon I'll be able to do some regular just discussions and top lists in the YouTube channel. So hopefully people enjoy those. There's so many great isekais that I still don't have adaptations and continuations. Yeah, it sucks. But yeah, thanks everybody for dropping by. I hope you all have a good night. Again, there's a link to the Discord in the description. So if you're not a part of our Discord yet, go in there and join. And I am open to discuss things on there. So all you gotta do is @ me. I'm always up to talk on there. So don't be a stranger. Appreciate everybody for dropping by. Greatly appreciate your guys' support. Y'all have a good night.